Hi there, welcome to Joshi'ing Around Weekly, a podcast in which we will discuss the most important shows, the best matches and the hottest topics in Japanese women's pro wrestling on a weekly basis. I'm Tim.
And I'm Eric.
And welcome to the show. Hello everyone, and welcome to the 9th episode of Joshi'ing Around Weekly. We are recording on November 4th. Our topics for today are gonna be a big Stardom review of the Stardom Crimson Nightmare show from November 3rd. Then we're gonna talk about the New Blood show from October 30th. After that, we're gonna have the Marigold Mask Fiesta show from October 29th, the Marigold Ibaraki house show from November 1st, a TJPW show from November 1st. After that, we're going to dive into the Indie Zone with Eric, where we are going to talk about the Sendai Girls show from October 26th, the Marvelou show from November 2nd, C-Link from November 2nd, which hasn't even aired yet, but we're going to see what that's about, Ice Ribbon from November 3rd, and Actress from October 31st. After that, some quick previews, some match of the weeks, and some old school reviews from Eric of two matches listener sent in, which is very cool.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, most important thing, this is our first episode with a special guest. This is David Hayter from England. How are you, David?
I'm doing very well. I was wondering where you're going to introduce me from. I was thinking,
me too.
Are you going to say social suplex? Are you going to say from like my law training, or like what is this? But from England, I'm representing a whole 1/4 of a nation.
You didn't want to dox you and say London or whatever.
It's for those who are desperate to find out where I am and come after me. I'm actually from Oxford currently, so that's where to address your hate mail once you've heard my views. So,
awesome.
How you doing, David?
Oh, very well. Quite stressed lately, but glad to be talking about some wrestling, some fun, some Joshi. First time on the podcast, long time listener, first time guest, so should be fun.
So, do you want to introduce yourself a bit, like your background? I know you got some music stuff going on, and yeah.
Yes, I will. Where to start? I used to be a music journalist for a long time, for a decade in the 2010s. It was absolutely wonderful to basically be paid to party across London, attend gigs, hang out with celebrities occasionally. I used to work most famously for Lily Allen's record label, so she was my old boss. And I used to meeting young people. I used to have to explain to them who she was because she's kind of an old star. But now she's back in the news because she's got her breakup album.
Have you listened to it?
I really liked it. Very influenced by Laufey. But anyway, but she's taken apart the fella from Stranger Things, her ex-husband, so that's made her top of the news. But since then, in the pandemic, I switched to doing law, which is what I do now. But I also, thanks to Tim, got to write for the Social Suplex, and I'm a long-term wrestling fan. I started out as a kid who liked Billy Gunn as his favorite wrestler, and now I watch. Yeah, I know, terrible, right? Actually, it's worse than that. My first interaction with wrestling, I got given like a set of toys when I was like a little kid, and one of them was like Big Boss Man with who could throw a clothesline, and the other was a wrestler I had no idea who he was other than he had like boxing gear. So in my head he was the coolest wrestler there was, and it was only about 4 years later watching WCW I found out that my ideal wrestler was Virgil. Famously, arguably the worst wrestler in the world, at least on major television. So, but yeah, now big Joshi fan. I've spent years talking to you guys about it, so I'm happy to share some views on the show. Oh, and I suppose pertinently, which I was supposed to add, I'm a Hall of Fame voter for the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
and
how did that happen?
Well, there's several wings. There's the active wrestler, which I'm not. A retired wrestler, which I'm not. There's the historian, which I'm not. there's the wrestling journalist, which I don't think I am. I think I'm the got included in Dave's mailing list by accident category because I send him so much feedback. But I voted, so we can discuss that in a bit if you'd like.
Yeah, we'll get down to that in a sec. Well, we take those.
Sure.
Well, Tim, how you doing? Oh, and welcome to the podcast, Dave. Sorry, I forgot to say welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
How was your day, Tim?
Dave is an amazing writer. You all should check out his articles for the newsletter. I'm doing fine. I've been good. How was your Halloween?
My Halloween? I don't.
Yeah. Did you do anything?
No, I watched wrestling, I guess. I don't. When was Halloween? Was it Friday?
Officially, it was Friday.
Yeah, I've just never done Halloween. Why, do you do trick or treating or something?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Did you do anything, Dave?
Well, God, unfortunately, my wife went to a murder mystery Halloween party where she was a vampire and, catch the killer type thing. I had to stay in and learn solicitor's accounts. So, no, I did not do anything for Halloween other than get vaguely annoyed that I'm not great at, double entry bookkeeping. So,
well, that's kind of spooky.
No,
so at least you kept in with the theme, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched... Go on, Tom?
No, go on, please.
I was just going to say I watched the Ice Ribbon Dojo show before this recording, and so I'm feeling quite tranquil. So I'm calm. I'm ready to talk a lot about Stardom and other stuff. There's some heated subjects going on in Stardom. So, do you know who Big Haruka is, Tim?
Big
Have you heard of
Haruka?
her? Yeah. Well, I guess Dave as well. I don't know why I excluded you, Dave. Do you know who Big Haruka is?
No.
She's a wrestler. She's a wrestler with JTO. She was making her debut on the Ice Ribbon show, and then on her costume, she had something at the back that said RM-RFU. Do you know what that stands for, or do you know what that means?
Well, I'm assuming it's not Rugby Football Union, but no,
no, it's not.
Would it be?
It's a Linux command. You know the Linux operating system. It's basically deleting a file with the name of you. So it's like Linux nerd talk for I'm deleting you. And I was just I was just wondering who at JTO is using Linux operating system. Is it like Takumi Shinoku? It's just that popped me just before getting onto this podcast, and it made me happy. And now I'm ready to podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, I've spent the entire weekend on a cabin in the woods, so
that's far more interesting than what I just said.
Delightful.
I have not been able to watch most of the stuff we're going to talk about today, so I apologize.
Oh, don't put yourself down. You watched all the Stardom.
I watched all the Stardom. I watched some Sendai, some Marigold too. But yeah, apologies in advance. Like we had some. We meet there every couple of months, a couple of friends and we just do a board game evening or partying, stuff like that. And we had a little costume party too for Halloween.
Wait,
of course.
What the fuck? You said you didn't do anything.
You just didn't do anything. Yeah.
No.
You were at a whole party in costume.
When did I say I didn't do anything?
Oh, okay.
Eric
was implied, right,
directly.
Dave?
Yeah,
I asked you. Yeah. I asked if you did something, you were like, nah. And then we asked Dave, and he was like, nah.
Wait, I misunderstood your question then.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, how was your Halloween costume party?
And what did you dress as?
I was just, I gotta be honest, I wasn't in a mood at all for Halloween this week. So when I was shopping in some random supermarket, I found a mask. And I just bought it. And I just put something together with stuff I had at home. I just had this mask on, and I painted my face a bit and did had this vampire, what's it called? Is it a cowl maybe?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the neck thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And just in black and just random stuff. I wasn't anything in particular. Just tried to look spooky or something. It was fun.
And which board games did you play, out of curiosity? If any this time.
We played. Do you have Hitster in the UK?
Hitster.
I'm the wrong person.
It's a German game.
I'm quite nerdy with board games.
It's basically a music guessing game. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh no, I was just saying I'm normally quite nerdy with board games, but I haven't played that one. The music,
Yeah, that's more a
music is
party
good.
game. That's not really a board game. We played a game called No Regrets, but that's a German game too, I think. I'm not sure. It's like a fishing game. You go fish, and you fish like zombie fishes and stuff like that. What else did we play? Not really much else. We played a lot of Hitster. It's just this party game where you have to guess music. Like, you basically have to, you scan a QR code and it plays a song from Spotify, and you have to guess the name and the artist, and you have to guess which year it is, and then you have to like make a timeline. And basically only the year really counts, that you make the right timeline, like between which two songs the new song goes in. And if you know the name and the artist, you get like bonus points and stuff. It's a fun game.
There's
that sounds super fun.
There's a history game called Timeline where you do the same thing but with like historical events, scientific discoveries.
Oh,
but
yeah, we played something like that too once, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that sounds actually. I want to play that. It sounds good. But I thought you were quite like on the extreme metal side of things. Like, are you more into pop than I knew?
So there's different varieties. Like there's Hitster Rock. That's the one we played with, like mostly rock music. Mm-hmm. And then there's like Hitster like radio. There's even like Hitster movie soundtracks. There's all kinds of different Hitsters you can buy. So
that kind of makes. What would be your mastermind topic? Do you know what mastermind is, Tim?
I heard of it. What?
Yeah, it's just like a quiz show where you basically pick your specialist topic, and it can be literally anything, and then you get quizzed about that specialist topic. And I was just, this is like, it was, some people are really good at those type of trivia games, like the timeline thing, and it just made me think of that game. What would you pick? What's your like niche topic that no one else would know? Let's say non-wrestling.
I mean,
boring.
if you say niche topic, it would probably like arts, like contemporary arts or something like that.
Is that like artists, or what do you mean by that?
Nah, like painters.
Oh yeah, okay, interesting.
Because I studied arts for a couple of semesters at uni once, but art history. But I gave that up.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but
what
I guess I know a lot of music. I guess I know music better than arts. But if it has to be more niche, it's probably like painters or something. So, yeah.
Okay, Dave.
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, I love quizzes, but I'm more of general knowledge, broad-based, shallow pool type of guy. Because obviously,
Okay, rub it in. You just know everything about everything.
No, I don't. But the thing is, the worst thing is like if you have a specialism. So like when I used to work in music, if we were doing the pub quiz and like if there was like a tiebreaker and it's music, they'd pick me. But you're completely at the mercy of like whatever the tastes of the quizmaster are, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're almost better picking the most general person who listens to the radio than me. So I'd have to be like this genre or this sound or this band from this time if I was on Mastermind. I couldn't, or like a
which one's that?
Oh, I don't know. I'm also rubbish with song titles. So you just get me to and and think about a Mastermind topic. I'm not sure. I'm not sure this is what your listeners
I'm so curious. Sometimes I just fixate on something and I just need to know it.
There's probably some history.
My life will not be complete until I know this.
You know what a weird knowledge thing is? I know weirdly a lot about like flags of countries. Maybe that's a good niche thing.
Yeah, flags.
Yeah, that wouldn't be
good.
Mine would be I think it's like, I've thought about this a few times. I think it would be like Doctor Who seasons 1 to 6 or something like that.
The 1 to 6 is in the original 1 to 6 or
the reboot. No, the reboot.
1 to 6. Yeah,
because I used to fall asleep listening to the episodes on my iPod back in like 2008 or whatever when it was out. And so I just like learnt the lines of the episodes. So I just accrued like a really weird amount of knowledge of those seasons.
That's fun.
Fair enough. Actually, for
Dave.
Halloween, last irrelevant topic, but for Halloween last year, I got my wife to watch, because she'd never seen it, because she doesn't like scary things, partly because she doesn't like being shocked, and partly it's like a Christian thing, apparently. But I got her to watch Blink, that episode with Carey Mulligan and the statues.
Oh,
she loved that.
I think that's my favorite.
That's great.
That episode is perfection.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a great episode. Wow. I just got a flashback. No, that's the one with the gargoyles and all that.
Yeah.
But
before they made them
called?
too actiony, Weeping
Yes,
Angels.
the Weeping Angels. Yeah, Weeping Angels. Yeah. That was that's the best they've ever been portrayed as well. Yeah, it just got worse from there. All right, well, let's talk Hall of Fame.
Do you know? Do you want to know something?
Yeah, go. Yeah, I do.
I've never seen a single episode of Doctor Who.
But until recently, I wouldn't have expected anyone from outside the UK to watch it particularly, though. Unless you're unless you're uber into sci-fi.
Is it a UK thing?
It's definitely not a Germany thing. I can tell you that for sure.
But like the original,
I don't think it ever aired like at all here.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get. I don't want to. I feel like we've got my Hall of Fame ballot in a minute. I'm gonna have some takes on Stardom that people won't like, and also I feel like me making comments about Doctor Who that I'm not informed about is just another fan base I don't want to offend. So
it's a pretty. Well, I think the fan base is like. It's younger kids now because they've changed the show a lot to cater to super family. It's so I don't think a bunch of 8-year-olds are going to be emailing you about your Doctor Who takes. What's your take? Is it bad? You hate it?
No. I just mean that I'm probably saying things that are wildly not true. Like it wasn't popular outside the UK until recently, which I'm sure.
Okay. Hang on. Okay, last question, then we'll move on to Hall of Fame. Who's your favorite Doctor? Do you have one?
Who's my favorite Doctor? That is a good question.
Okay, or who's the most recognizable that you're like, okay, that's a good Doctor?
Ooh. Sorry, I shouldn't be hesitating so much. Who do I like?
Yeah, you really shouldn't. There's only one correct answer.
Really? So I'm not allowed to pick the one from my childhood because he's objectively not the best, but I'd like it, which is Sylvester McCoy. He's the worst.
That's fair enough.
Not the worst. He's not the worst.
I meant as part of the reboots, to be honest.
It's a reboot. He's a bit too zany for me, but maybe Matt Smith.
Oh, my God. Not David Tennant?
You know what? Considering, as we'll probably discuss, I like WWE a lot more than you. You'd think I might like his stylings, but I find him a bit too saccharine. But he does have a lot of the best stories. So he is probably pound for pound, he's probably the best overall and probably the best actor too. But I don't know why it just didn't pop into my head. So. You can't put me on the spot and then complain I answered.
No. That's okay. That's okay. All right. So, as you mentioned before, you are a Hall of Fame ballot voter, somehow. Lost in Dave's mail or whatever. I wanted to ask if you had a strategy for voting. So, are you one of those people that, researches every single region and wants to vote in every region? Or do you just, abstain from some regions? And if you are voting in a region, do you research all the candidates in that region?
Okay, so there's a few. I'm glad you actually asked because I was going to make some general points about Hall of Fame and voting. But yes, so I did end up voting in actually almost every region, and I do try to do as much and as broad research as possible. Although I appreciate that's limited, but provided Dave doesn't listen to this and kick me off the ballot, I do get to vote every year. So you do have the benefit of changing your mind and correcting mistakes. So I try to, as I say, do a little bit of research into everyone and then focus on who I think are the key candidates. That does obviously lead to me eliminating some people from my consideration perhaps more quickly than people who are voting for them might care for, but I will at least consider them. But I did want to say, because I listened to your podcast last week, and I just wanted to comment on the voting system and how I think about it, because I know it's very different to what you and Tim discussed. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, it depends what you're going to say.
No, I just say, so the way I take it is I'm voting in essentially Dave's Hall of Fame or the Wrestling Observer's Hall of Fame. So I try as earnest as I can to stick to what their criteria is. And, for the benefit of the listeners who might not know, the criteria is in-ring ability, I believe, drawing power, historical significance, and then all of it is underwritten by longevity. And there is stuff like pro mobility, but you can fit that in wherever you like. And the key thing is that when you're considering those categories and weighing them up against each other, you're supposed to assess them as being at a Hall of Fame level. So it's not this guy's a good wrestler or this guy's a very good in one category. It's if you're trying to satisfy all three criteria ideally at a like kind of top 10, top 15 in the world level, some would say top 5 for your era, for your locality, ideally with longevity on top of that. And if not, you've got to be either super outstanding in one category, that's how Tomohiro Ishii got in, or you've got to be like pretty good in 2 of them. So one that I disagreed with getting in was Johnny Saint, but he got in on a combination of wrestling ability plus historical significance because he influenced people like Bryan Danielson, even though he's not really a knockout in any one category. Yeah. But the reason I've raised this is just to say that when I do it, I do try and play by Dave's rules and not overly reinterpret it away from what he sets. So,
I feel like there's going to be a big but here. Like, I would vote for Vince or something.
No. I was just saying because I know Tim was like he discounts WWE, which is his prerogative, but I just factor them in to the criteria as in like they're one of the biggest companies in the world. So if you draw, like your drawing stats for them count, your wrestling for them counts if it's of good enough quality, etc.
Well, Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the context on specifically negatively influencing people in WWE? Like if someone's in WWE and they're really good, do you discount that against them, Tim?
I think I just no, not really. No, absolutely not. I just don't count what someone does in the WWE as strongly as others, I guess. I would like one thing I would say is that someone who only was in WWE, I would discredit that heavily. I just think the WWE is so heavily scripted for like down to the matches are like very heavily like patterned and scripted. All the promos are scripted, whatever you say is scripted. The storylines are built for you by a team of writers. So I think a lot of stuff that is done in the WWE has nothing to do with the individual skill of a pro wrestler that makes him a great pro wrestler, because you just have to basically do what is written for you more than really have the like the instincts or the skills of a really great pro wrestler.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that people in the WWE can't be great pro wrestlers anyway, but I think they have to show that to me throughout their career in places other than the WWE.
Okay, well, we have the rare opportunity of speaking with a good faith WWE fan, because there's not a lot of them. So Dave, do you have any contention with what Tim said?
No, not hugely. I mean, as I said, I would place more weight on it in general, but I would also say that, like, a great example of what Tim's saying is one of my absolute favourite matches of the year, and like a moment I really loved, was Io Sky beating Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. I love that match. WWE style, but I really enjoyed it. But if you watch the Unreal program, I mean, give or take how much editing they actually do in that show to make themselves look more omnipotent than they actually are, you've got who's the agent? I can't remember the agent. It might be Michael Hayes or Chris Parks or someone, literally calling every single spot, even the really like crazy creative ones, like camera 4, it's going to be Poison Rana off of Powerbomb counter, get shot ready. So like Tim's point is completely valid. It is like heavily produced, but then like in that match, like I don't think that doesn't make me question Io Sky's working ability. But that does remind me of one other point I want to make. Again, this is not a Hall of Fame podcast, but just because I'm here and it's interesting. The big discussion, because I know you guys have moved away from the Wrestling Observer. One of the big discussions over there this year has been about women in the Hall of Fame. And as a voter, this is one of the things that I not push back on isn't the right term, but I just would be interesting for the listeners, especially on Joshi podcast, to talk about it because it's such a contentious area. Is that basically absolutely people want to, and Tim might disagree with me on this, but I've always been of the view that historically, especially in Japan, women have shown that they can be better than the men, as especially in ring, but also as draws. So when the beauty pair went in, they went in as state-of-the-art wrestlers for their time and incredible draws, as good or better than most of the men around. Jaguar Yokota, light years above. Like if you watch a men's match, especially from America, like there are good men's works in the 80s and 70s, but like she's on another planet and she looks like she's wrestling today's style. And obviously Minami Toyota, drawing power and passion and storylines and great wrestling. So my contention has always been that when you're ranking the female candidates, my way has always been I still rank them against the same criteria. So if I'm talking who's the best wrestler in the world, I do rank them vis-a-vis the guys, and because I'm of the view that like the Hall of Fame being so biased towards men, I don't like that, but I think that's actually a good indication of what the industry needs to change, because it is so heavily that way in terms of especially opportunities to draw. Because the big debate this year has been like, essentially, should the women in the US category be judged obviously against the USA only, pretending Japan doesn't exist at all, and secondly, within a category of when you're talking about who are the top 5 workers in the world, you take out like Samoa Joe, for example, and you compare just into gender, as it were. So I don't know. I just want to raise that as a topic because you might have completely opposite views, but because it is the kind of contentious debate. I don't know if it's been on the forums and boards you're in, but that's one of the.
No, I haven't actually heard that point. Tim, what do you think? I need to think a bit about that one.
Because the reason it's come up this year is because Mercedes, Becky, and obviously Io are all on the ballot this year.
Wait, Mercedes is she on the ballot?
She's on the ballot, yeah.
I think Mercedes is for the first year. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
I do sympathize with that take a lot, because I do also I do usually weigh women just the same as men in my like when I decide for like wrestler of the year or whatever. And I think women are just as up there as wrestlers of the year for me, currently as well as historically. So I do agree with you. I don't think that necessarily disqualifies the women on there. At least if you talk about like Meiko, Io, and maybe even Mercedes. Because like I think you could argue in the mid 2010s that Io was one of the best wrestlers in the world, either gender. I think Meiko has some of the best wrestling matches in the world, like in the history of pro wrestling, for either gender. So like if we talk purely work rate, I don't think that necessarily disqualifies some of the women on the ballot. And I do think that's a good approach to just rank them or like judge them in the same vein as you judge the men's candidates. What I do think is like if you have like a special historical impact for women's wrestling, like for example, I'd say Becky Lynch has.
Mm-hmm. He just stole my point.
I would weigh that like specifically for the women then. Sorry, Eric.
No, no, that's inherently like, you know, for example, like if you ask a bunch of Joshi wrestlers, like, you know, what's about Io Shirai, they'll like always say that she was her inspiration. So obviously the fact she's, you know, a woman that had impact on women's wrestlers, you know, that's obviously gendered, right? But in terms of that, yeah, it's basically exactly what Tim said. That's what I think. I just copy Tim's takes.
No, that's good. And what's funny is because I was in these arguments arguing the point I just made, but I actually, as you'll see if I go through it, I voted for a lot of women in the end. So,
yeah, who did you vote for?
So in the, I follow.
Let's do Japan and modern US. I guess just those two. We don't care about the others. So Japan first. I guess.
Okay. Well, I was going to start with a woman. Which
sorry. Okay, sorry.
You can give us all if you want.
I was going to say
give us all.
No, I won't give the whole ballot. I'll give Japan and US. But I'll also add I follow the historical performers era. I voted for one person and that was June Byers because I think she should definitely be in. So that just to throw that in, and then I'll go Japan because you guys probably have strong opinions on this. I might disagree. So I was originally going to vote for no suitable candidate, but I changed my mind and I voted.
Oh my god!
And I voted for you're probably gonna like this. Zack Sabre Jr., Io Shirai, and Toyota and Yamada.
Okay, Toyota and Yamada is probably a bit of a hot take, no?
Yeah, that's the one.
Maybe Tim.
Oh yeah, come on.
No, it's just like the longevity is just like such a thing against them, right? But I kind of get it if you want to vote for them.
Yeah,
that wasn't that bad, Dave.
Yeah.
I thought I was expecting much worse.
No, the reason I say that is because I know that Toyota and Yamada is a bad vote on the criteria. I even said that when putting it in, but I just find it really hard not to vote for them. Annoyingly, Dave has this rule that you're not supposed to count their matches against each other, even if it's related to a split, and that's for all tag teams, which I think is a really bizarre rule. So that's the one vote, but I think there's no chance of them getting in, to be honest. So I don't think I'm going to do any damage if people are concerned about that vote.
Yeah, I would have, if I had about it, which I don't want because I don't care that much about the Hall of Fame, but I would have voted for Masaki Mochizuki and Mika Satomura as my other two, and Io Shirai, obviously. Did you look into their cases at all, like Mochizuki or well, obviously you know about Mika Satomura.
Yeah.
So was there anything disqualifying,
No,
or did you just prefer the other three more?
Disqualifying. I thought they were on because I thought the ones I voted for, particularly Zach and Io, I thought had the wrestling case and a clear historical significance that is partly influenced, but is also doing truly unique historical feats. So for Io, the two WrestleMania title matches and being the unique things. So being the first woman to win Japanese speaker to win a match at WrestleMania. I might be wrong on that, but at least in a high profile match. And secondly to be the first the first non-speaker where you've had a 12 going on 14 week mainstream US storyline built purely around them talking, cutting promos and acting, which I know this sounds probably stuff like that Tim might hate, but I think that's a truly unique thing that hasn't happened, especially on the biggest US show. And even in the AEW where you have Takeshita and Okada doing a program now, you still do a lot of it through the medium of Don Callis and the matches, whereas they're just going full out. You have 4, 5, 6, sometimes I think there was one week where they did 5 angles in one show speaking with a Japanese speaker, and I think that's a testament to her star power and extreme overness, which is I think unique for a Japanese woman, and probably is quite what I thought was quite put her in slightly in that trailblazer category. And for Zach, it's obviously the rest of the year as a outsider. So I won't go through the whole cases because that's going to take ages, but these are the little things that so it's kind of influence on other wrestlers plus some unique I thought some unique slight trailblazer type stuff.
Okay.
I don't want to go into
Tim,
and great wrestling
in that. Yeah, Tim, anything on that Japan before we go modern US quick?
No, I agree.
Cool.
I wouldn't vote the same votes, but I don't have anything really against it or anything to say against it. Yeah. Or for it. I just agree with you.
Modern US, Dave?
Right. So shall I go? I'll try and go in the order that I think will least annoy Tim to most. So let's start with Becky Lynch. I think the case is quite obvious on historical significance. Then I don't actually know Tim's opinion on this person. This is someone I was not considering voting for previously, but changed my mind this year, and that's Jon Moxley. So any boos or yays? Oh, yeah, okay, that's fine.
No, that'd be a slam dunk for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have voted Jon Moxley years ago.
Yeah, I didn't know your opinions on him, so I wasn't sure.
He's awesome.
Yeah, I actually think my thing for Jon Moxley is I would vote. I would think he's a Hall of Famer just for what he did for AEW in 2020 alone, because that had to be one of the hardest circumstances for any wrestler in the history of wrestling, and he somehow the pandemic related stuff, of course, obviously, probably in pro wrestling since the World War would be my guess, the hardest time for pro wrestling. So, and he somehow worked so hard for AEW that AEW came out better after the pandemic, in all metrics, than they were before the pandemic. And that's if you look at other promotions, that's not the case for any. So just his work in this year alone, in 2020 alone and 2021, would be enough for me to vote him, honestly. Because it's such an extraordinary thing he did there.
Well, I think we can get through the other two pretty quick. Speaking of making things hard for AEW, I voted for CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, so should we get to the Joshi review?
Well, I don't have an issue with Cody Rhodes. That's an obvious one. CM Punk, Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with what Tim said last week about his negative influence. Like, he almost fucking killed the second biggest company in America. Like, I wouldn't ever be able to vote him just from his fucking antics there. But
well, I suppose I would dispute the killing part. I don't. I think what he did was bad. I just don't think they were particularly in danger of losing their TV deal.
I think he initiated the downward spiral that AEW went in for like a year or maybe 2 years before they eventually got out of it.
Absolutely.
That brawl out was the start of all of that. That was the catalyst, in my opinion. But also, I don't know if we're here to rehash AEW business.
I don't actually disagree with that point particularly. But the point that I would make that I think you guys wouldn't like is that obviously the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame is based on the wrestling world, and obviously damaging AEW is damage to AEW, but that isn't the wrestling world. CM Punk did move business significantly when he went to WWE when they were already riding high, and that adds to his drawing power case and in some ways to his historical significance case. Again, I don't want to argue this because I don't, I'm like the least engaged in this. I don't, because it makes it sound like I love CM Punk, which I really don't care. Like he's not one of my favorite wrestlers. He's just on my ballot because I think he fits the criteria. So
yeah. All right. Well, anything left, Tim?
No, I think his drawing case is overrated too, but I'm not gonna get into that. It's fine.
And what a note to end it on. All right, let's do some fucking Joshi. So I wanted to start off with some news. I mean, we always have a news section before we get into the reviews. So the biggest news coming out last week is Mirai has joined Michinoku Pro. Tim, I haven't spoken to you about this. Did you hear about it? I don't even know if you heard about it. Because you were aware.
Oh, yeah, sure. I did. I did
cool.
hear about it. I saw the social media posts.
So Mayu Iwatani was announced to face X on the card on the 2nd of November, I think it was, and X was Mirai. So she's from Iwate, which is where Michinoku Pro is based, and they tour a bunch of the surrounding prefectures as well. The interesting part is Michinoku Pro doesn't really have a women's division, as far as I'm aware. So the way I see it is, it's basically a chance for other promotions to book Mirai with dates, and the promotion gets some of the fee. That's kind of what I think's going on. So I think it makes sense for Mirai if she cares about her home prefecture, which she does. She said she wants to give back. That's what she said in her promo. And also, if she doesn't care about maximizing her own income, or if she doesn't want to arrange her own bookings and appearances, then it kind of makes sense to do that through a promotion. I think some people forget that not everyone's cut out for freelancing. It is not like easy, laid back. It's like you're running your own business. You're self-employed. So it can be tiring. It can be stressful. Like Saria is a freelancer, but even she doesn't do her own bookings and managing her own finances, right? That's her agent and her booking office. So yeah, I think that's probably what's going on there. I think she'll probably do a bunch of outside dates. Michinoku does do a lot of dates. It's not one of those promotions that only does one date a month. So I don't think she'll be doing every Michinoku Pro date. So it really depends on how many outside bookings she does, I guess. The best case scenario is that she only does like 1 or 2 dates a month, and then otherwise like her schedule is doing a lot of indies and other promotions. That would be awesome. So yeah, are you guys upset or happy, sad? Don't care.
I think if this leads to like her, as you said, if it leads to her like being mostly a freelancer, like based in Michinoku Pro, but taking a lot of dates elsewhere, I would love that for her and for me. I got a question for you. Do you think all the weirdness we kind of hinted at with Mayu Iwatani not being in her like final match in Marigold, in her like gauntlet match, I mean, not the final match, or like there were some other things. Do you think they did that because they knew this match was gonna be their big final thing? Or
I don't think they're that organized. I mean, maybe. I mean, but what would be the point of that? Like, yeah, no Mayu on the card on your Marigold house shows. Oh, sorry. The one thing I didn't mention was Rossi Ogawa was there as well. So I don't know if you saw that. So yeah. So that means there's some relationship between Michinoku Pro and Marigold, some working relationship. So I mean, I guess the answer is maybe Tim, but I don't know for sure. That would be too elaborate for me, I think.
I'm not even hinting at like there being a working relationship. I'm just saying like maybe it's not that they like I think the overarching like what all is pointed to, like Mayu doing nothing with Mirai on her exit, that they maybe don't like each other, but this match actually like says differently. to me.
Oh yeah, I
maybe.
mean, of course.
That's the point I wanted to make.
Oh yeah, I mean, Mayu was so happy for Mirai. She's the one that started the post match promo and was basically, hey Mirai, I think you should join Michinoku Pro. Like obviously she knew what was going to happen, but she did. She looked like super happy. I don't think there's any animosity between them, so I think that was just like pure speculation. The other weird thing, I guess, is like she might be popping up on Marigold shows now. So it's either she might be on Marigold shows, or when she does her 1 or 2 Michinoku Pro dates a month or more, whatever, because they don't have a women's division, she might be facing Marigold wrestlers on those shows, which would make sense. So I guess she didn't really leave, and she might still have interaction with the Marigold roster. The last thing I wanted to mention that I really like about this deal is that region in Japan is basically underserved wrestling-wise. They don't get a lot of big shows from the big promotions. It's like the north of Japan, below Hokkaido, though. A lot of the women there actually tend to default to watching Michinoku Pro. The reason I know that is because Misa Kagura did an interview with Hype Talk TV, and yes, I've shouted them out a lot because, Alessandro, who runs the channel, does good interviews. I'm not sponsored, I swear to God. But Misa Kagura did an interview on there saying she had no idea about women's wrestling when they asked her to start training at the dojo there. She just used to go to the shows and enjoyed them. And she only learned about women's wrestling when she started taking outside bookings and realizing what was out there. And then she joined Taka Michinoku's JTO promotion. So if Michinoku Pro signing Mirai means they now have at least one women's match on their big shows at least, that is more women in that region that can see sick women's matches and then be inspired to sign up and join the Michinoku dojo. Or maybe they research Mirai and find Marigold and so on and so forth. We know that Mirai is trained people in Marigold. She was one of the coaches in the dojo. So I imagine she would be up for training people in the Michinoku dojo, especially any of the women that sign up. So this is an amazing deal for Michinoku Pro from basically every angle. Even if she only does 1 date a month, it's just an incredible deal for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Is it right if I jump in on this too?
Any thoughts, David?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm going to give the selfish Westerner take here, which is obviously primarily for Mirai. My main interest is obviously my access to view her, and obviously avoiding additional subscription costs if possible. That is always going to be a concern for me. I do think the points you're saying about Wate are great, and I 100% echo what you say about freelancing. That is it's a frightening lifestyle, freelancing. I've done it, and not in that industry. Like you're completely dependent on other people. And even good relationships you think you have, if the money's not right for them or the time's not right for them, people can just say no, and then you're essentially doing no work for a month, and that's scary.
Exactly,
and if reports are to believe, they're not earning particularly large amounts of money. And the third point I was going to add, there was this isn't odd because it's Mayu and she's great. Is it? I didn't see the match obviously, but did Mayu won, right? Which I thought was a bit like, no, it's not a problem because it's Mayu. She can beat anyone she wants. She's the greatest. But but I was also kind of like, oh, wait to make your grand debut.
I mean, if they're booking Mayu, obviously she has to go, Rossi Agawa, all that good stuff. Yeah. Cool. So that's that. Shall we get into Stardom? We ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Tim, do you want to lead?
Yeah. Let me take this one. All right. We had Stardom, the Crimson Nightmare, on November 3rd. It was in Ota City General Gymnasium in front of a crowd of 2,467. Which is a pretty good crowd, actually. It's like the 5th most this year, I think, for any promotion.
Yep, and the third best ever, Stardom's third best ever at the arena.
Oh, sorry.
And
it's.
I was going to say beat 2 nights of the G1, including Shingo versus Takeshita. So big matches.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So this was a pretty contentious show, I'd say, from things I've heard and read around the internet. Should we just give our general thoughts first on the overall show, or do you want to go through it first?
I think we can give general thoughts first, and then we'll go match by match. And I think we should avoid the big contentious parts until we get to those matches. That's what I think.
Let's do that. Okay.
Yeah. Or we could do the most contentious first. I guess it doesn't. What do you want, Dave? You split the tiebreaker.
Let's go overall thoughts and let's go chronological order. Make the people listen to more of your podcast, right? To get to the good stuff.
Yeah. All right.
Don't top load. Don't be a YouTuber.
So yeah. So my general thoughts are that I thought the the first main contentious point maybe is, well, I think everyone agrees on this one, is the undercard was kind of nothing. I actually thought the Chiba house show 2 days before had a better undercard than this pay-per-view. So it wasn't like it was bad by any means, but it was even a step below a good house show in terms of match quality. The top 3 matches, however, were all actually the top 4 matches were really good and all pay-per-view worthy quality. I thought the crowd weren't as much into the undercard either, so I don't think it was just, the viewing audience at home, but that could just be the Ottawa Gym Arena as well. And I think the main problem with the undercard was that 15-person tag. I think booking that match just killed any chances of the undercard being good. I don't mean the match itself, I just mean the concept of the match. The actual match itself was fine, but putting your most over factions and Suri into one match on a pay-per-view is like a extreme degree of confidence. The most over factions being the Vida Loca and Cosmic Angels. The rest of the undercard was not strong enough to hold up from not having any stars on it. You can't do huge matches like this. If you're going to book stuff like that, then I think they should bring in more freelancers. Maybe Suri should have been on the show. Just bring in people like Matsumoto. Why do they never work Stardom? Bring in Vaney. If you really want to do those huge matches, or work with Sendai girls on these shows, you can't have Waka Tsukiyama and Ruaka following up your stars. So, yeah.
True. Dave, what are your overall?
Somewhat similar. I won't go too much into the 15-person match because I did enjoy the match, and we can discuss it when we discuss the match. But I do feel very similarly in that the undercard was extremely weak. And once we go into match by match, I have like quite a few criticisms of that. But generally, I found the show quite enjoyable because the undercard I just wrote off in my head as I'm just watching some not particularly great matches. But I really adored the top 2 matches, and I thought, and the high speed title I enjoyed quite a lot too. So for me, it was a top heavy show, and I enjoyed the top heavy top half. So as I say, we don't want to get into the controversial stuff too much, so I'll just leave it at that for now.
Right. No, there's nothing really much left to say for me. I totally agree. The undercard was very much nothing, but like the top matches I all really enjoyed. So I think we just go through it then from the start.
Yeah, let's go.
So the first show was Ryan defeating Fukigen Death and Kikyu Furusawa and Dana Yagami in 6 minutes and 18 seconds. This was kind of really absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I think the point of this match maybe was for EXV to get the next shot at the artist titles, right? Because did she pin Fukigen Death, right?
She pinned Fukigen, yeah.
Yeah, so I think EXV are getting the next, or like at some point getting artist title shots. For a filler defense or something. So I thought that was the only point of this, really.
Yeah. Should I go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Feel free to throw to me at the end, so I don't want to step on your guys' toes on your own show. But my thought on this one similar. I actually thought this was quite a bad match. I thought this was hyper choreographed, hyper soft style. I thought Rana looked good. I liked her striking. I also liked her general expression throughout the match, because whenever Death was doing her antics, she had the total I can't be fucked with this face, which I enjoy if you're supposed to be in God's eye. I do think Rian continues to show improvement, which even though she did some very Rian things in this match, like she's learnt the bloody annoying Lucha springboard, which I love. CMLL. I'm one of the few. Yeah, me and Erica co-subscribers. But everyone seems to watch a bit of Mexican wrestling, decide they want to do the run on the ropes, bounce on the second rope, do a spin into an arm drag, and Rian did the most beginnerish one of all time, because she did the spin, nervously landed on her feet, and then did an arm drag, defeating the point of doing the springboard in the first place.
I missed that. That is hilarious.
It's very Rihanna though. It's very cute, but it was like also objectively terrible. And the bigger criticism I have is for not to go hard on the match, because it's just a fun undercard match. I did quite enjoy it for what it was.
Yeah, damn, you're going.
No, I thought it was fun. It's just I made some observations because because I've been very busy with work lately. I've been skipping a lot of the very early part of the cards, so or like watching just the finishes. So I've not really seen too much of Kikyo, and I thought her style is very patterned. And I'm going to give a warning to people listening at home. There may be a loud sound now, because her entire thing is very slowly get in position, super loud clap signaling to the people I'm ready to do my move, and then doing it quite softly. So I was quite unimpressed with her.
I'd be careful, Dave. Kikyo is very popular.
Oh, is she? I didn't think everything she did. I didn't think everything she did was bad. I just thought she had that really like, I know my spots. I'm really nervous. I'm really thinking about the spots I'm going to do, and I'm going to very much telegraph everything I do. But she does do one thing that I think is fun, which is I've noticed in all the matches, I don't know if this is one of her trademarks, but doing absurd pre-moves to get into an ankle lock. Okay, it's her thing. Okay, because on the tour she did the row your boat style Mexican surfboard to go to an ankle lock, and in this one I think she did.
Yeah.
Did she roll out of like an Indian deathlock or a crab into it? Okay, it's her thing. Good. I wasn't sure if I presumed it must be her thing, but I thought I'd ask.
Yeah, that's a gimmick. Good. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll hand over to Tim.
Okay.
Well, you heard it here first. Dave gave that a dud. So. All right. So, yeah.
The only notes I really had on this match is what Walker was kind of. He was. Did you watch with English or Japanese commentary?
I watched with English. Yeah.
English for me too.
Okay. I thought overall I thought Walker was very good on this show actually. But like, did he say like Rian is the champion of Stardom after she pinned? He had some crazy lines about Rian in this match. I don't know.
He had something very accurate to me. He said that Rian is building a following in Stardom. Her fans are members of a cult, and I think that is quite accurate. I do objectively like her far beyond her ability. So
that's true.
I think that's fair.
Every time I think of Rian, I just think of her DDTing herself, and I just can't stop laughing.
Yeah.
Anyway, next up, we had the aforementioned 15-man tag match. It was the Cosmic Angels. Do I really have to list all of them?
No.
It's Aya Sakura, Natsupoi, Sayori Sayaka Kurara, and Yuna Mitsumori. They defeated the team of Emma Shima and Miwida Loka, which was Akira Kurogane, Itsuki Aoki, Rina Yamashita, and Susu Suzuki. And Godsai, which was Amisore, Hina, Kyoka Kutatsu, Lady C, and Shuri in just over 11 minutes. And yeah, this was another. This was just a fun multi-man typical Stardom match. I thought it took a while to get going. Like, I think maybe like the most inexperienced wrestlers started out, which maybe made for the slow start. But by the end, it was like really fun. I thought when like the Cosmic Angels did all their shit, and like I think it really kicked off when there was Miwida Loka was in there with like Shuri. Suzuki and Shuri had like a really cool part in this. And then the Cosmic Angels had a really fun part. And Saori pins Army in the end. They did a really nice like quadruple dive from one turnbuckle post. Like free to the outside and then Saori, I think, to the inside. And then Saori pinned actually Ami Sourei, which surprised me because like I mean, we had this several times on this show that like not the most underneath member of a faction got pinned. In this case, it was Ami Sourei, which is basically like realistically number 2 in God's Eye, maybe behind Hina or like on the same level
I think
as Hina. Not sure.
I think technically she's above Hina, but maybe not. Maybe not in ability, but for sure in like hierarchy.
In push, yeah.
Yeah, in push, yeah.
But obviously this was to give Saori Anou a big win here for something we get to later. So what are your thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, pretty similar. I thought the match went a little long. I agree it got better at the end, so that sounds a bit like a weird thing to say. But I found it pretty wildly entertaining, and I thought they kind of went a bit harder than I was expecting at points, especially towards the end. And as I say, that shot you mentioned of the 4-way dive or 5-way dive with the panned out camera in the arena, I thought was superb. But I do agree. I think the point Eric made about the cramming so much talent into one match is a bit ridiculous. And I thought the actual pre-match ceremony where they read out the team names and show you the long shot, I thought it did look ridiculous having 15 people on three sides of the ring. I mean, I don't know what you saw at ringside. So it was a bit strange. So a mix of good and bad. I thought there was some really good action. I'm a big fan of Yuna. I love how, like, in this match, this is like a minor thing, but when she was kicking out of, I think Godseye were trying to pin her, she kicks out so hard, she like moves herself physically like a meter across the ring. I love that. I thought there's also some, I know someone you're not a fan of on this podcast, which is Lady C. I actually thought her selling was really good in this match. I thought there was a double head kick spot where her and it must have been Amy they both did the head whip sell, but they did it in opposite directions, so they didn't collide heads. But I thought it just looked really, really, really good. But yeah, I think what Tim said about the younger ones working early, it did lead to some flaws. I thought Kyoko was just like almost way too fired up. She was like so excited to be on pay-per-view. She was just like kicking a lot of air around people. And Emma needs to drop kick through the target. I think that's a lot of Stardom wrestlers need to do that actually. She kind of drop kicks like a half a yard in front of where people are, so you get those super soft kind of tippy tap drop kicks. Which
I was watching Emma a lot in this match, but for different reasons, not really for her in ring, but because I've been thinking about, you know, how comfortable she looks in like showing her personality. Because out of the three, like her, Akira, and Kikyo, like, you know, Akira and Kikyo found their personality or their characters super quickly, like almost instantly on debut. And Emma I've been teetering on the opinion on whether she's a bit wooden, but I think watching her in this match, she's getting a lot better at showing her personality and being more comfortable. Like she was, you know, trying to get the crowd involved, like clapping and stuff like that. She looks happier, I guess, in this match when normally she looks miserable. So, yeah.
She looks so happy to be included with Vida Loca, like when they let her do the pose with her, and she seemed just bewildered to be allowed to be associated with stars, which as in big stars, not as in stars of action. So yeah, no, I thought she showed some personality. Like, yeah, I think she's pretty solid from what I've seen. But I don't know I have no idea what the general opinion on her is. So
I probably thought she's like the better in ring out of the three, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but still trying to find her character. Well, I guess that's the opinion on this podcast. I don't know if that's the prevailing consensus, but yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right. Did you guys have anything else on the match?
I was just this was another match so you remember when we reviewed To the World on our debut episode, Tim, and I got really mad at Rina Yamashita coming out with the Choco Pro title because the VOD hadn't aired yet. So
yes,
it fucking happened again. Itsuki Aoki came out with the Wave title, and the Korakuen Hall show was the day before, and I would 100% not predicted that title switch. So, you know, me and the other two Wave watchers are gonna write strongly worded letters to Taro Okada.
I also have one really silly observation, but I know that Tim does not pick up on like outfit changes or fashion related things.
I'm the one that does.
Oh, is it you? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Don't besmirch Tim's gear quality. He's got very good gear skills.
This isn't gear. This is more like a weird thing they're doing. Are Sayaka and Sakura, are they intentionally trying to hold the New Blood titles as if they're handbags? Have you noticed this?
Oh, I didn't notice that.
They put the connecting bit of the strap on their shoulder and they dangle the belt like handbag height. It might just be the way they hold them, but I was just like, this feels like a really weird stylistic choice, but I think it's on purpose because they're both doing it at the same time. So
I have to watch out for that.
For random fashion tips, there you go. Keep an eye out for that.
I will watch out for that one.
I did really like the entrance though. I think it looked really cool. The way they set each other up on the ropes, and like the two tag team champions in the middle basically, and I think like left and right of Poi, I think was in the middle, and then the other two on the sides. They struck a cool pose there. I just think they were clearly like the most outstanding unit in this match to me. So
wait, do you guys agree with my take that Vida Loca and Cosmic Angels are the two most over factions?
What, in all of Stardom or in this match?
Yeah, in all of Stardom.
Not Stars.
Yeah.
Not Godsire.
I think Cosmic Angels are the most over.
Cosmic Angels for sure.
Loca and Hate are like on a similar level, I think. For like crowd heat as well as like sometimes crowd cheers.
Yeah, maybe Hate's just... Yeah, they're probably around the same level, Hate and Mavid Loka, yeah.
Oh, I also have a question for the panel.
Yeah.
Can I play a game of Complete the Sentence? This is Walker Stewart about 2 minutes into the match. I think Walker's great. He just does say some wacky things sometimes. So, there is no unit in Wonder Ring Stardom with more future potential than...
There's no way he said Cosmic Angels, right?
God's Eye?
Correct.
He said God's Eye?
Yeah, I guess Hina's in there, so and Rana, but I just was like, okay. I'm not saying it's wrong. I just was like, he just said it so definitively. Like, I was like, all right.
Yeah, I don't think that's been determined. Well, who would it be? I would probably go with Hate, to be honest. I don't know. Like, you got Rina, you got
Azusa, yeah. I mean, actually, you know what? He might just be correct because it does Rana, Tomoka, Hina. That's pretty good.
Tomoka's in there too.
Yeah,
and they do have, but they also have like Lady C, and Lady C, and Saki. But
I mean, Cosmic Angels has Sayaka and Aya Sakura.
Yeah, I was gonna ask why you dismissed them so quickly, because to me, like, those are the two most promising future stars in the company right now.
Wait, who?
Sakurada, both. Aya.
Oh, you mean because why did I say Cosmic Angels? Yeah, I guess it's because I feel like Cosmic Angels are like the home unit. They're like already made almost in a way.
Yeah.
Like they're the number one, so it feels weird to say that they're the future of Stardom. But I guess they do have two future stars. Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought it was an interesting discussion point, just because I hadn't actually ever thought about who's got the most potential, but I also didn't expect the Walker to have such a clear opinion about
a strong opinion. Yeah.
Which is good. I don't mind the commentators doing that.
I know that another thing, Stewart halfway through the match confirmed basically Shuri for the Tokyo Dome. Did you guys?
Yes, he did. Yeah,
hear that? Because Shuri wasn't confirmed. That Shuri only said she would like to be in some press conference or social media post that she wants to be in the Tokyo Dome too, and Walker basically just said it outright.
Wait, so does he actually know story? Because I just assumed he's in the dark a bit about creative and stuff like that.
I think Chris Charlton is in the office working, and maybe he gets info from him sometimes about stuff like that. But he straight up said Shuri is confirmed for the Tokyo Dome at one point during the match. Yeah. Anyway, so repinned Army after the match. Suzu weirdly waited around the ring, but that was cleared up when Risa Serra made her entrance. She is gonna have her retirement match on January 12th, and she challenged Suzu for her last match, which makes a lot of sense because they have a lot of history together. They were in prominence together, and what did you think about that?
I think it's cool. I mean, I love that. Well, I don't love that Suzu was in tears. I'm not a mean person, but I mean, I liked. She was so emotional about it, so it meant a lot to Suzu, and that means a lot to me. I think the actual match,
yes.
It's probably going to be. It has to be some smoke and mirrors match because Sarah still only has one leg, so I assume it's just going to be some death match, and they'll bleed, and it'll probably be awesome.
I think they're gonna go sicko mode for this year.
Yeah, and I think it's obviously probably the right match given their history. But I actually had a very similar take to Eric, which was that it was very discordant to me considering how I think about the wrestlers to see Suzu crying and then Risa also looking quite trim and glam and quite not that she's not good looking. I just mean she looked like a smart, sassy business lady in her outfit. So I was kind of this is not my vision of prominence in my head, but I very much look forward to the match when it happens.
She had to scrub up for Stardom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost didn't recognize her at first when she first walked out. But the blue hair, then I have actually another take I wanted to mention here because I earlier said I think Cosmic Angels are the best unit in Stardom. That's just because I like the wrestlers the best, honestly. I had this realization that maybe Mi Vida Loca is something like a perfect unit to me, just in their makeup, because they have the really charismatic leader. They have a great badass tag team in Yamashita and Aoki. They have like one of the most promising rookies in Akira, and then they have like the big monster, Bozilla, who fits in better and better to me. Like at first I always said that Bozilla doesn't really fit the Mi Vida Loca vibes, but I think she's fitting in. Yeah, she's doing well to fit in now. So like just their makeup of the unit, like great leader, great big monster, great tag team, and a nice rookie. Maybe they have like the greatest constellation for a unit you can have.
I mean, yeah, you know my opinion, because last time we spoke about maybe the local, I was putting them over. I always thought from the start that they were like a perfect unit because they served like a really specific purpose in Stardom as well, like where they can play tweeners. Yeah. They can be heels, they can be faces, depends on the matchup. I mean, they've been my favorite unit since they debuted. So, Dave, do you have anything?
Oh well, I'll give the hot take counter opinion, which has nothing to do with them, because I actually completely agree with what Tim just said, that like stylistically, aesthetically, and also in terms of the makeup, they're perfectly balanced and everyone fits their role. The trouble is probably more on the push side of things, because you've got a ultra charismatic leader who seems to be completely disbarred from being in any serious programs, and I don't know if that's related to her health stuff or not. I don't know. Obviously a tag team that can only appear once a month, roughly, and then Bozilla, who is a giant, who her win-loss record is like it's more like a draw loss record kind of. At least when on the major shows I've been watching, and then I have no problem with Akira. So no, I agree with what you're saying, but I think the perfect composition isn't matched with like a perfect push. I wouldn't say for any of them.
That's fair. All right, we have spent a lot of time. Should we just rush through these couple next?
These next two matches do not matter.
So Waka and Hanako was Miyu Amasaki and Azumi. Azumi and Miyu Amasaki won, of course, in about 8 minutes. I didn't really understand why Waka needs to have like this Waka and Hanako. The best I can say is this was just a preview for the tag league, because I'm pretty sure. No, Waka and Hanako aren't actually tagging.
No. They're not. I assume they were as well. That's
not really the case either. So that was just an unremarkable.
I think it was just
Azumi tried really hard, but other than that, it's nothing much.
Yeah, I think it's just a tune-up for O2 line, because they're like, I'm expecting them, we talk about later when we do the tag league preview, I'm expecting them to go pretty deep, so I thought this was just giving them a win, but it was just a match. What about you, Dave?
Yeah, I've got a few points, but I'll try and be quick, so I realise I'm the one that's making everything go a bit slower than usual.
Don't worry.
I love the way Azumi worked this entire match, especially with Waka, because she just had this expression on her face of like, this is light work, this is beneath me, while like putting her in holds and like not selling her offense. So I did love that, and I did quite enjoy. I did reasonably enjoy the match, but Waka finally did a bit of her shtick that I actually liked, which is when they were doing the Matrix counter sequences. She dodges a head kick, or she doesn't dodge it. She doesn't move quick enough. Azumi just misses it for her, but that wasn't Azumi's fault. She just didn't do a dodge. But Waka's move for Azumi to dodge was like Austin Powers style karate chop, which she Matrix dodged, which I quite enjoyed. My only other point is that O2 Lion have Azumi's like really dramatic entrance sequence with the what is it, like shots fired. You have like the really slow build up to the music and the swell and all these cool graphics, and then they've got the most awful clip art O2 Line logo. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Maybe pay attention to it next time. But it really undermines the whole coolness and trendiness and youngness of their whole tag team. So so a thumbs down review for the O2 Line logo.
It's better than AI art, which they use elsewhere, right?
I mean, I'm not convinced
they
it
use
is
all over the place.
True. And also, I suppose one more point would be, I don't know why this match made me think about it, because obviously Miyu's having a tough time online, so I don't want to say anything too bad about her. But it did make me think that, like, if Miyu was an American wrestler, because she's like, spoiler, extremely good looking, I feel like she would have been pushed like way harder. Whereas I think like if she was even AEW or WWE. So I've kind of almost in a way think it's commendable for Stardom that they kind of, because she's had that kind of flat level progression, I think, in ring, that they haven't kind of shot her up the card in the way that, I think that's one of those key differences between Japanese and American wrestling that I just noticed here. I was just thinking like, if this is the US, she'd be like, well, wait, I think we should be forced at us a lot more. Even though I think she's good and I like her personality, it just struck me watching the match. Anyway, that might be a mean point. I don't know.
Oh no, it's okay.
It's
We're allowed Miyu Amasaki takes. You remember the last episode, Tim? Yeah.
You mean the things we cut out of?
Yeah.
That was
Deleted scenes, maybe for a bonus episode at some point. Yeah, but was Miyu Amasaki pushed when Rossi Ogawa was around?
She had the
really.
super rookie. Well, no, but I don't know because that's the commentary team. So they just say stuff. But they did the super rookie thing with her at first. Like she's.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a.
But then
I
it
don't know if it's
dropped
like
off.
a regime thing because, like, I don't know if this regime cares about stuff like that. Well, yeah, I don't think they care about like how attractive you are, but I think they do care about like whether you sell merch and like how popular you are, right? Like
Sales metrics they're big into, I think. But yeah,
like Starlight Kid, like they're pushing the fuck out of a Starlight Kid, and we know she's very popular in that sense. So, yeah,
I think Miyu, when she came in, they gave her like this trial run of matches against like big stars. I think mostly on New Blood shows, like big singles matches, always the New Blood main event for the first like 6 months or something. So that hinted towards a big like super rookie push, but once that ended, they just kind of went a bit slower with her, I guess.
right.
Anyway, right. Next match. We got a 6-man tag between B. Priestley, Momokogo, Saya Ida, defeating Hate, Natsuko, Rina, and Ruaka. Yeah, this was a very... I mean, this was just mainly worth talking about because of the awful finish, in my opinion.
This was fucking crazy.
It makes zero sense to me.
So like the Amisori one, I can sort of like figure, okay, fine. You need Sari to have a big win. The 2 title matches we'll talk about later, but you can justify. I mean, you can't justify both of those. This one made zero sense. So who pinned? Was it B.
Priestley?
That pinned Rina. So I understand that you might not want to pin the tag team champions just because all the implications that has. You might have to give a match back. Maybe they don't want Stars to challenge. Blah blah blah. But couldn't they have just swapped it and have Hate beat Stars and just pin Momokogo?
Yeah.
Does it really matter?
I mean, if it was for me, Rina pins B. If anything.
Yeah, I mean, or B, but obviously Momokogo is like right there.
Momokogo, obviously, yeah.
She's not even in the tag league, so. Yeah, this one made no sense. Dave, can you try and make it make sense? You're normally good at that.
Yeah, well, I was wondering because I somewhat lose track of the titles. Is Rina part of the artist title currently, or no?
She is, yeah.
Is it not just that? Is it not just they're going to get an artist title shot at some point, or some combination?
They just had one, right? I mean, okay, B. Priestley didn't.
Yeah,
but
that's
Stars,
what I was thinking.
Not this formation.
Yeah, Stars just had one in September in Osaka, so it'd be weird if that was another setup, but maybe it is.
Yeah, I mean, generally beyond that, I don't have a clue. I didn't get too much from this match other than I thought there was some good near falls at the end, and I think B. Priestley. I've said this before in WWE and now here. I think she's got to have a 4th time lucky trying to find the finishing move because I think Ocean Cyclone Suplex looked really soft. Knee Kamigoye I thought always looked bad. That was the WWE finish, and she did Made in Japan here, right, or something similar. I just thought it looked. I thought it made Rina look weak, not kicking out of it. So I like B. I like her a lot, and I thought this was the first time doing the entrances where they're all wearing their jackets. They hit the pose in time with the music. I thought it was the first time she looked like, oh yeah, she actually kind of looks like she might maybe be friends with these people, perhaps a little bit. And did I have anything else from this match? I noticed.
So Aida was super over, which is good because she should be.
Oh,
I also thought like the last 2 moves Rina looked fucking sick. Like both from B. B first did like this DDT.
Yeah.
That looked like it straight broke Rina's neck. She should have just pinned her after that. I agree that her actual finisher looked weaker than the move she did before. So, but both moves looked like they sucked for Rina to take. So,
yeah, I was gonna say as well. Couple of things. So to give her a bit of praise, I thought Momo's offense looked a bit better in this one than usual. But maybe this gives away what I'm about to say. I have given it away, but I'll ask you anyway.
I know what you're going to say.
Walker Stewart said there's a future title contender, and I believe he was referring to the red belt in this match. Do you want to guess who that is?
What, he called Momokogo a title contender?
I think so. He said a future title contender. I think we're looking at a future title contender in Momo Kogo. But again, she speaks English, so it might be that they're friends. And it's nice to say nice things about people you can speak.
I picked up on something else Walker said about Momo. I thought you were going to say that one. He said, and I quote, "The spotlight's on you, kid."
Oh, yes, he did.
I burst out laughing because she's 40 years old. I thought maybe he thinks maybe he thinks she's 17 because of the cosplay pictures. Oh yeah, that just made me laugh. Yeah,
that's an inside joke.
Oh, and I learned. Sorry, one more thing, because this might just be the most generic thing, but the one reason I appreciate Walker is I'm not good with move names, especially in Japan. I just watch the matches normally with Japanese commentary, and they will go out my head, which causes no end of problems when I have to write the social suplex. But I learned what the Stars triple or quadruple team move is called. Did you all know what that was called already?
No, what is it?
The one they do in every match where they hoik her up for one of them holds him kind of elevated for Wilson and they give a double bulldog. Apparently that's called that's called the Stars Summit. Anyway, I've seen that move probably more than any other double team move because of Stardom, and I never knew what it was called.
I did not know that.
Unless Walker just made that up, which is possible.
Well, he is in charge of communication for Stardom, right? So he could just give them names now.
Yeah, but he knows a lot of move names. Overall, that always strikes me with Walker, that he knows just every fucking move name under the sun. So wouldn't surprise me if that's real.
Shall we get to the main matches?
Yeah, let's go. First up was, for some people I saw this was the actual main event.
Hell yeah.
It was the great Saki Kashima taking on the monster Bozilla. Right, do you guys want to go first? What about you, Eric? What do you think?
Okay, well, all right, put me on the spot. So I think this match is the first of the divisive ones, I think. So when it first finished, I thought that was kind of messy. And then as time went on, I had my nap and I woke up and I started thinking about the matches more. I thought this match was memorable, which is a good thing. And I think it was messy in a way that didn't take me out of the match. It felt like a struggle. So going into it, I was fully expecting Saki Kashima to get absolutely destroyed. But instead they decided to deliberately take it slower, let the tension build up. And I think it was kind of successful depending on what your tastes are. So there was one spot where Kashima was taking ages to untie the turnbuckle so that Bozilla could run into it. And just as an example of me thinking about it over time, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, they're botching this. It's just kind of messy. And now when I'm looking back on it, it was way funnier than watching it live. Because in a horror movie when someone panics with the keys to the door, when a murderer is chasing them because they're shaking, that's what I thought of when Saki Kashima was trying to untie this turnbuckle. So I have no idea if that was intentional, but now I have the benefit of the doubt. I was like, Saki might have done that on purpose. So the more I think about this match, the more I like it.
The only thing that didn't quite work about that spot to me was it was so obvious that Bozilla was looking at her.
Yeah,
and almost wanted to go. Then she saw, oh, Saki isn't ready yet. So she took the ref again. And that's kind of if the ref was just if that little bit didn't happen, I think you're right.
And she fell for it. She still fell for it. She still ran into the post.
Yeah, that also.
Yeah, but murderers are dumb, Dave.
That's true.
Have you seen Home Alone?
I have seen Home Alone, yeah. But they're not murderers. They're robbers, aren't they?
Okay, they're not... Yeah, sure. But, they did attempt murder in those movies.
That is true, yeah.
They did.
So did the child.
So, yeah, anyway. Yeah, so I actually really like this match. I thought it was almost... Not almost my match of the night. It was my second or third favourite match, but I did like it. What about you, Dave?
So I thought it was a total mess, but I enjoyed it.
Okay, yeah.
I in a way, because literally every move... Saki tried and she couldn't get on Bozilla, and not always because it was the storyline. She just physically couldn't do it, and a few of them were actual the size issues, and some of them were just her messing it up. So, but it kind of played into it. The only ones I didn't like, or I thought were a bit of a problem, were the Rana and the Poison Rana one, because I think that actually kind of exposed Bazilla for not actually being that strong, because Saki's kind of long and the central balance changes, and it kind of both times she kind of couldn't hold her up, and that is her job to base. I think Saki was at an awful angle, to be fair to Bazilla, but so I don't think you want too many of those where you kind of like, she's not actually that strong type things. But no, generally I enjoyed it. As I say, not the awkwardness of it kind of made for it. And I did enjoy that when she was firing up and doing a big comeback. I think probably for the first time, at least the first time in a year or so, she started busting out her God's Eye training and started throwing slaps and kicks and actual like Shuri style strikes. It didn't do much of anything, but that was pretty cool. Oh, and the one negative I'll say as well. Sorry, I said several negatives, so it's a bit weird to say one negative. But but I thought Bazilla's lariats look awful. Like I like most of what she does, but I thought they look. I don't know if she's protecting Sari or something, Saki or something, but yeah, I just thought they look really soft.
Yeah, now you mention it, I don't think I remember a really strong Bazilla lariat. I think she's like more her power bombs, her suplexes, stuff like that are what she's known for. I don't think she has a particularly good lariat. Now that you mention it,
and I will say she made up for it by fully extending to do the Superman dive to the outside. That was quite an amazing looking shot. So I'll give her that.
Yeah, I know that spot too. The crossbody was really funny. That kind of popped me. I do remember Bazilla doing like one sick ass lariat in the Azumi match.
Okay.
So I think she can bust it out maybe sometimes. I didn't really notice them here, either positively or negatively, her lariats, but I gotta be honest, I was a bit disappointed with this match. And not specifically because of the messiness, which was of course a big part of it. Like a lot of moves just didn't work out the way I think they planned. And but to me, like, I was expecting a lot more like Saki Kashima brand comedy spots, which I usually like a lot. Like, I'm not the greatest comedy guy in wrestling, but Saki Kashima's comedy is always great. So I thought that was kind of missing from the match, to be honest. It was a lot more like played straight than I would have actually liked the match to be. There was still some funny stuff, but like it was a lot more like just a straight worked match in a way. And I thought it was gonna be a lot more like, I don't know, Saki climbing the ropes or I don't. Well, like all these little funny comedy spots she usually does, I was kind of missing.
Yeah, so I was also expecting the same, but that's kind of why I ended up liking this, because they deliberately chose not to do that, because they'd done that a lot during the build, right? So they'd sort of already given you all of that. So I kind of like the idea that they chose to do something a bit different, where Kashima was actually trying to beat Bazilla, because that's not a story like they tell very often. So it kind of made this match more special to me. Like, I don't think I'm going to forget this match for quite a bit, and I think that's important in wrestling. But maybe that's just a preference thing.
Maybe that's true. And another thing, like, I think the finish probably would have worked a ton better for me if I didn't see like Megaton do essentially the same thing a week earlier, tapping out in a hold or like in a setup to a move before the move actually hits. So in this one, Bazilla was about to powerbomb Saki, and Saki just tapped instead of taking the powerbomb. So it's a fun thing to do, but unfortunately, like, Megaton beat her to the punch on that one. So
I was just going to.
Sorry, did you see? No, go on, Dave. You go first.
Oh no, you go first. I was just going to throw in a couple of little comments, but so you go. You respond.
No, I wasn't going to respond to that. So we're both on the same playing level here. So you can go first.
All right. So
this is what happens when two Brits try to.
Oh God! So that reminds me, I got shouted at during the Olympics. Sorry, this is just a brief aside. Because we were coming back from, I think, USA women versus Japan women in the Olympic final football, and we were on the train, and the American, at first he was like, oh, it's so quaint, you guys are like saying, oh, you go first, and then of course when it came time to get off the train, no one would go first, and he just flossed his lid at me he was just saying, why don't you walk in front of her? And I was just like, oh, I'll wait for her. So the English people and go who gets to go first is a perennial source of social discomfort. But I will go first and talk about what I was going to say, because I did want to say something nice about Bazilla as well, because I thought she did an amazing backbreaker in this match, or Saki did a really good sell of it. So I wanted to point out something nice, and also they did a cool Street Fighter graphic on the Tron at the beginning, which I thought was a nice touch. I think it was Street Fighter, but it was that kind of 2D style throwback, which I thought,
it was,
which
for sure.
which I thought was neat. And then finally, one thing that took me out the early part of this match for a good reason was that I found Hina incredibly distracting, and it wasn't because of her fabulous hair. It was because I sometimes forget, because she's quite mature seeming as a person. She's like quite stately. She was at ringside banging the mat as a Godside member, but she, like, everything Saki did was completely cracking her up, and she couldn't maintain a serious face even when she was trying to sell. So, like, I just thought that was really lovely. So if you're, I don't know if anyone else listening at home watched that, but I just thought that was really nice, just to remind you that actually Hina's like she's a student, she's a young person, she's not like a super statuesque, mature wrestler. She's someone having fun. So I really like that.
I fucking love Hina.
Yeah, she rocks.
Yeah, the only other thing I wanted to... Bazilla did a moonsault. So I thought she does a moonsault from top rope, but she did one from the middle rope this time. Isn't that harder to do?
I think so too. She did that before. I think she does both. I think sometimes she does it from the second, sometimes from the third.
The second one
I
is
do agree
fucking
that
scary.
second seems a lot harder, actually. Yeah.
I think the second rope...
Because you have... Yeah.
Sorry, we've done it again. I think the second rope is more secure for balance, but it's a nightmare for hitting your own feet on the top rope as you flip. So I think there's...
Well, also, you have less time to rotate, no? Before you take the bump. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. You know what my highlight of the match was?
What?
So, I know.
Bazilla.
Oh, sorry. Is it... Can I guess? Is it Karura's face when Bazilla challenged her?
Yes.
Oh, good.
He actually guessed it.
It was the whole Kurara call out. Pop the fuck out of me. This is gonna be so good. Can't wait for that.
Did you hear what Bazilla said at the start of that call out? She was like, what the fuck was that? I don't know if she was referring to the match.
I'm pretty sure she was.
I do think she was referring to everything that went wrong in the match, actually. Yeah, but I mean, I the messiness worked for me. I don't know. I think it added to the match rather than detracted for me personally. So I don't mind all some botches take you out. None of the botches in this match took me out of it. So even if they weren't intentional or whatever, I still, I liked it.
Okay, so the next match on the card was Mei Sarah defending her high-speed title successfully against Hazuki. And I wanted to start on this one because I probably am one of the few people, at least in the Western world, who watched, I think, all of Hazuki's available matches in Mexico. And it's such a relief to have her back in a promotion where she can actually operate at the correct speed. I feel like I've been watching her wrestle in absolute slow motion for a month. And I think I was going to mention this somewhere else. I mentioned it somewhere else, but I felt quite bad for her. But she did get to have one really good match out there, which was her versus Tessa and Skadi. They had a really nice little match. But my big concern in the first few minutes of this match, after clocking how great Hazuki's new look is, was that I was really concerned that Hazuki was doing the classic, I've been to Arena Mexico, I do lucha now thing. Because she started out with the kind of slightly over-rushed ranas and arm drags. And I thought they were a little bit off. But in a way, a bit like you were saying in the last match, I actually liked some of the offness and slight missing in this match because I thought they were going with such intensity and murderous intent that I thought it made for a really kind of cracking match, essentially. Because it gave a bit of violence and chaotic energy to what they do. And Mei loves crossing up every spot anyway. And I think Hazuki was in a mood to kind of play the smug veteran and try and grind her into the mat, but got out for. But anyway, I'll hand back over to you because I just wanted to start just because of the CMLL point, essentially.
No, I mean, the thing you mentioned, I mean, I'm picking up on what you said, which was murderous intent. That is exactly what I wrote down. Well, my first note on this match was Mei selling inside out for Hazuki's big boo, and then there was a murderous dropkick from Mei. So these two were just trying to fucking kill each other in this match, and I like people dropping on their heads, so I liked this match. There was a really cool lucha sequence that led to probably the most disgusting German suplex you'll ever see, where Hazuki basically landed on top of her head. May is one of those weird wrestlers where she's like one of the best high-speed wrestlers, but also just has a really violent German suplex, and it is awesome.
Yeah, and can you guess what?
Yeah,
Oh,
is it my turn?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh no, you go.
No, I started. I wasn't sure if you were fully back, so go for it. Go.
I'm back. No, I think you probably covered it all already, but like this was just a fucking sick match. It was, and it's not necessarily for like a perfect like work rate candidate, super smooth match, but it was just for like the absolute absurdity of those two and the bumps they took. Like just a challenge of who can take the more absolutely disgusting looking bump. And yeah, it was crazy. There was also like there was an insane poison rana. There was like relatively at the start there was a hurricane rana that looked a bit botched but still worked for me greatly because it just looked a lot more devastating. Like Husky didn't fully rotate on it and just kind of landed on her neck instead of like on her lower back or whatever, and it just looked, everything in this match looked so crazy for some reason. I don't know. There was a power bomb that was absolutely insane, and yeah.
We noted down the go.
Sorry, no.
I was going to say we noted down the exact same spots.
Yeah. And after the match, May just looked like she was done. She was like, I don't know if she was like, maybe I feared she may have like a light concussion or whatever, just from the look on her face. But May always likes to do that kind of like cell of exhaustion that makes her look like she's just confused. But she looked like she was absolutely done after the match, which is fair because she took a lot of punishment.
Yeah, I normally judge a match based on how many of my notes are in caps lock, and this had the most out of the night, so I want to say it was my match of the night, to be honest. Yeah. But it might well have been. I think this was my match of the night. I had to think about it, but I think it was.
I was going to say,
what about you, Dave?
my exact next point was going to be like throughout this, I've got like my little notepad of like what I try and make some astute notes or fun observations. And for this match, I've got just in all caps, fucking German suplex was so violent. Fuck me, that poison rana. Yes. Do these women have a death wish? And then that was in relation to the powerbomb Tim mentioned. I want to point out the powerbomb is not May. May does her normal powerbomb. Hazuki fully whips her head back towards the mat for no reason other than to hit her head on the mat. So they were crazy. But my actual favourite spot of the match was actually something like less violent, but I thought was so cool because Hazuki was doing her kind of like a dickhead veteran persona more than her happy persona. She like did a pin of like May where she just put her knee directly across her throat and like ground down, and like I thought almost despite her, May could just kick out normally, but she like did the full bridge up, I think just to like get under her skin. I like that kind of grit and intensity between them, and like a little bit of loathing even in just technical wrestling.
Yeah, Hazuki's really good at matches where she plays that role. So like immediately what comes to mind is like her match with Starlight Kid last year, where she played the same role.
Absolutely.
And I can't get that match out of my mind. So she when she wants to, she can deliver some really memorable sick singles matches, I think.
No, I agree.
So cool. yeah, cool. So the post match. So I think May is she doing a run in Mexico? Because Hazuki put her CMLL Japan Women's title, like held it up, and they said they want to run it back in another singles match for that title. So I don't know if that's going to happen in Mexico or if that's just going to be defended in Japan.
I figured it was going to be in Japan, and I figured it was just so Hazuki gets a win back, probably. No?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I would guess Japan, but I don't think CMLL has a great track on who their champions even are. They're not, their belts don't matter. Like they really don't. Not in a bad way. Yeah. They actually draw, which is weird, but the belts exist to headline when Mr. goes away. So that's what they're there for most of the time.
Well, we didn't cover the news because we don't always cover every single piece of news, but obviously CMLL and Stardom announced like an official partnership while Hazuki and Koguma were over there. So that's more than what they had before, where they said they would actually start to trade talent more. So I think you might see Stardom wrestlers going there more often than you have so far. Yeah,
my concern would just be like, I think there are useful people CMLL could send for to develop CMLL talent. Like I think Olympia would be good to bring over because she's so green, but she's very impressive. But most of the people CMLL send will, I think, just I'm very down on CMLL women. CMLL's not my third or second favorite promotion, but they're a lot of them suck. And like I don't think they will improve much or improve the quality of Stardom tour shows by being on them. So I don't mean to be like a complete downer, but it feels very good. Like I think the benefit of Stardom is their talent will probably love getting to work in front of 16,000 fans. That's crazy. That's
exactly.
Great. But I don't know what Stardom the promotion particularly gets out of it unless they're getting money for it, maybe.
No, I definitely kind of agree with you. Like we have had a bunch of CMLL wrestlers this year already doing tours, and like they had like some okay matches, but it's usually like really nothing to write home about.
So we had Tabitha. I think Jubia is her mum, right?
Yeah, those two were together.
Yeah, so she was, and then obviously Dark Silhouette, who got injured in the match with Koguma. Yeah.
So while I was away, probably Dave, I heard the tail end. You covered the CMML stuff. Then okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask. Did Husky win the Grand Prix there, or did she win something there?
No.
I thought Walker said something that she won.
She went out first, right, or something like that.
No, Koguma went out first. Tazuki got a nice little run and then was eliminated. But I'll talk about. There's a match that we're going to discuss in a little bit that will give me the opportunity to talk about CMLL. I'll save it for then so I don't double up. But no, she had a nice. I did say earlier, she had a nice run. She had a really fun time. She had maybe one good match. Yeah.
Next up, we had the summer main event, which was the Wonder of Stardom title match between Konami and Starlight Kid, which was kind of an upset, I guess, to
I think so, yeah.
some people, with Konami actually beating Starlight Kid for the white belt. What are your overarching thoughts? What are your thoughts on Konami winning first, maybe? Do you like it? Do you hate it?
I'll take this one first.
Or Eric?
Yeah. I guess match aside, because I already knew it was going to be like a good match going in, because Starlight Kid doesn't have bad matches. And they already had like a really excellent match in March. So I think in terms of the result, if Starlight Kid... So it was announced that Starlight Kid is off with injury for the Goddess Tag Leagues. So she won't be on any of those tours. Don't really know when she'll be back. Maybe for Dream Queendom, we'll see. But if Starlight Kid was taking time off for injury, I think she still should have dropped it to someone else, like a Suzu or an Izumi or even Rina. I think the white belt champion is meant to be a belt that elevates people. Like Starlight Kid gave so many people the best matches of their careers, like Hanako, Tomoka Inaba, Rina, at least in Stardom matches, because obviously Tomoka might have had better JTO matches, but they've given like Hanako, for example, the best match of her career. I don't think Konami can do that. I don't think she can give people the best matches of their career. She can have a great match with a great wrestler like Suri, Starlight Kid, but I think she's just going to increase the hate shenanigans in her title matches, because like if you're becoming champion, you need to like defend a bunch of times, not because you don't normally have like V0s nowadays. So just for variety, I think the tendency is going to be that they're just going to pad defenses with fillers, and then the heels will do that with like interference typically. I think Rina would have been better just because Rina, despite being heel, has been a bit of a less cartoony heel than Konami has been. And obviously, like if it was a Suzu or an Izumi, you know they're going to put out bangers with people. So I think the division's going to be worse off just because it's Konami. But, and I'll finish off here, I will say this was well booked. So like there's no booking terrorism or anything else going on here. Konami was kept really strong all year. Even when she last faced Starlight Kid in March, Konami looked stronger than Starlight Kid. It was like Starlight Kid barely squeaked past Konami. And then obviously Starlight Kid got choked out by Konami when she lost the artist title in September. So the booking made complete sense. I just think the division is worse off with a Konami rather than a Suzu or something.
Right. So I think honestly, you said that there's not really a V0, like something like that anymore. Dropping? I think this smells a lot to me like she's just a transitional champion for sure. I do think she maybe keeps it until Dream Queendom. Which maybe she will have like one defense between then and that, but I think this is just to set up a babyface to win it because they didn't want to have Starlight Kid drop to another babyface. Maybe, I don't know. I strongly suspect it might be Hanan because they set that up with Konami beating up Hanan and basically sending her into injury. And maybe they didn't want that Starlight Kid Hanan matchup because, like, yeah, just babyface versus babyface, two very popular wrestlers on the roster against each other. Two very popular babyfaces. That's not maybe the best idea in their eyes. So they did this to drop it to Hanan essentially towards the end of the year, and maybe they didn't want to do that with Rina. So in if that is the case, I do agree that I wouldn't do that with Rina either. But
the division's worse off, right?
Sorry?
Do you think the division's better or worse off after the change?
I mean, for the time, I do agree with you that Konami maybe doesn't have like the work rate style that suits the white belt the best.
Yeah.
I do think she's like we talked about a lot on the podcast. Actually, I do think she's well on her way back to like old form. She's improved heavily this year, I think.
Yep.
And I did really like this match as well. I think I'm even like the high man from like other reviews I saw so far. But I think you're right. Overall, she's not gonna have the greatest killer run, but I don't think that's the intention of it. I do really think
fair.
it's just a transitional run to another babyface. What are your thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, so I'll do slight devil's advocate because I do agree with quite a lot of what you said, but I will pay some compliments to Konami. So I thought, basically, when she did the Psy Queen team back last year in the tag team league, I don't know whether it was doing the outfits and the cool entrances or something, but I think sometime around then she seemed to like mentally check into being not a relic of the previous Stardom, but actually like actively engaging in the current product and being a presentable character. And I've really enjoyed almost all of her, bar the one where she got knocked out cold by Suri. I've enjoyed all of her big matches, and I really loved her match with Suri in the 5-star. So I'm
absolutely,
yeah. So I'm quite positive on giving her a big push, and I'm also, because you guys have discussed in the podcast before, like who's going to beat Saya one day, and I've always assumed that will be one of the 2 or 3 most marketable people. So my number one guess would be Starlight Kid. Obviously, I've said that for quite a while. And number 2 would be like Natsupoi or somebody. So the idea of Starlight Kid at some point dropping the title hasn't shocked me, and I could have seen it happening here. But what makes me think this actually might just be a shorter term thing is the nature of the finish. Because as you say, the previous match, not intentionally obviously, but Konami completely broke Starlight Kid's face. And in this match, she's spray painted her, left her for dead, cheated her out of victory, and kind of, but while still winning strong, still like absolutely beating her, but with heel tactics. It feels like the booking of that, rather than Starlight Kid would move on, it feels like she probably should come back and win. That isn't always the case in like Joshi booking. We haven't had enough of Okada really to tell what he would do in this situation, I don't think. But like, I think the natural storyline would be Kid comes back, she gets revenge in a really triumphant, hopefully really good match, and then you'd hope she would drop to a Arena or Hanan or whoever it is they have as the next the next proper white belt champion, as in the younger, the tier 2 champion who's going to be the tier 1 champion one day.
Yeah, so 2 things on that. I guess, well, the first is just that we are a pro Konami podcast here. Okay, we have been gassing her up.
Yes.
Yeah. So we love Konami here. The second thing, what you just said about getting revenge, I don't like the trope of always needing to get a win back. I think it's fine for a babyface to get bested, whether it's by heel tactics or whatever, and they don't have to come back and get the win. It's like, they can move on to bigger and better things. I feel like it's maybe a bit too stale to always be like, okay, they got cheated, now he has to go back and win. You know what I mean? I like some variety in that. No, she doesn't want to deal with that shit anymore. She knows she can go for the red belt, so she's just going to move on and not go back to deal with Konami's shit.
Oh, and
let someone else deal with that.
I would be totally fine with that too. It was just the nature of the win. If it was like Konami does a little bit cheating, chokes her out, Kid's like,
it was a bit blatant.
You got me. It was just like so, like it was the like kind of not humiliation level is not the right word, but like the destruction and kind of downtrodden this
It was
level of it.
humiliating.
Yeah. That's what made me think. No, and as I say,
fair enough.
my original thought was, Starlight Kid's going to drop it in one of these next two defenses, and then she'll be winning the title sometime next year, probably. But now, after watching this, I was like, she might have to win this back. But then again, that's booking. She doesn't have to. It's just I just assume that's what you would do. Match was great though. I thought
This was. Oh, I think we all agreed that the match was really good. Yeah, I don't think anyone's down on the match here. I really liked it as well. I think it was just maybe a bit below the first match, but I thought it was still really good. Because the first one had the fucking amazing bloody mask. You just can't really replicate that.
That's really true. I do also wanted to add, like, I am really happy for Konami in it, for herself. Like I mentioned before, like she, I've always had a soft spot for her, but especially when she had like her break for like physical injuries, and also like, you heard a lot that she had like a real like mental boom at some point, and I was always rooting for her to come back. So her having this success, even if it's just a transitional reign, I'm really happy that she's getting this like win, of course. So yeah.
She's also a great promo, and I'm also happy that she's the artist title champions, obviously with Tokyo Cyber Squad, right? So I mean, yeah, it's all up for Konami right now, and you know, she I think she's done well. So.
Sorry, just to jump back in, I was going to say I really, really love this match, actually. So I might prefer it to the other one, although I don't rewatch anything ever, so I probably just bias towards the one I watched most recently, I'll admit that. But I love the storytelling aspect of the match, the leg versus arm. I love the Black Tiger leg killer, whatever the hell it's called, not being able to be applied properly because she has to put Konami's arm over her shoulder, even if Konami's doing nothing, but it naturally puts in a position where it has to push her shoulder forward. So I thought that was great. And I want to, obviously, because I'm not here that much, I wanted to give Kid a lot of praise, because one of the things I love that she does is this sense of like urgency. And it's not, this sounds going to sound like a negative to Will Ospreay, because he does this and I think it's amazing. Will do this thing in a match where normally about 3/4 of the way through, he'll decide it's time for a super speed sequence, and he'll just go crazy fast, really intricately plotted out. That's not what I mean when I say she like has this injection of pace. Instead, she like sees an opportunity in the kayfabe nature of the match. Like Konami's like showing a hint of weakness, and she like starts sprinting to the top rope. She starts like increasing the speed at which she throws every kick and strike just in that moment. And it's like a little thing, but I just love that. And I think it's one of the reasons the storytelling in her matches is so strong, because she does like effectively subtle changes to her body language that signal to you that like you're reaching like a narrative swell in the story, even if it's just halfway through the match and then they're going to slow it down later. I just really like the way she does that, and not just through choreographed spots, through actual like body language alterations during the match flow.
Yeah, Tim, you go first. You haven't spoken in a while, Tim.
Okay. Yeah, that's an excellent point, Dave, and can only agree. So about the match itself, I gotta say one thing first. Starlight Kid completely worked me. Just
same. Yeah.
We talked about it last week when I said like in the Yuzuki May match that I knew the outcome of the match right from the start. In this one, Starlight Kid completely fucking worked me at the start, because she was like, usually you often see like in big white belt matches, or like in big championship matches anyway, the wrestler, like before they give the belt to the ref, right, they like really kiss it and look at it one last time and really like melodramatic do something like that. She just basically tossed the belt, or like just gave the belt to the ref, right? She was unrobing, like she wasn't even worried about losing it. Like she didn't look at it a second time, she didn't kiss it or anything. So that kind of signaled to me that she's retaining for sure, right? Starlight Kid is the kind of wrestler where I would expect like at least like a little kiss on the belt or whatever, if she's about to lose it. So that kind of really worked me. I will say throughout, like halfway through the match in my notes, I have like this big question: wait, is Starlight Kid actually losing this? I think this was the first time Konami had her in her submission. And that's where like the first doubts like seeped in. And then I thought about like the whole theory about, like I read about this before, that like maybe Konami's gonna be just a transition to Hanan at Dream Queendom. And then it all clicked for me all of a sudden. So in the end, I wasn't as surprised anymore about Starlight Kid tapping. But at the start, she completely worked me into believing this is just another filler defense for her. But yeah, I did also love the match in itself. Like, I thought they worked great. The submissions were great. Like Dave said, the selling of the damages was perfect for me because it wasn't like the completely melodramatic, I can never use my arm again in my entire life because you did this one thing at the start of the match to me. It was just a little subtle thing that she couldn't ever get the Black Tiger leg killer cinched in completely and stuff like that. That just didn't work as well, and that was her downfall in the end. So that worked perfectly for me. And the kicks from Konami looked on point all the time. And yeah, just a really good match to me. Sorry, you wanted to say something, Eric?
No, I was going to say now you mention it about because I didn't know about the theory, but obviously Konami choked Hanan out to win their artist title in Osaka on the 23rd. So she choked out Starlight Kid for their artists, and then she defended the artists by choking out Hanan. So it kind of fits perfectly in storyline for Hanan to make a return and take the belt. So whatever you think. Go on.
And she did the beatdown on Hanan on the next correction, I think.
And she did.
That was officially the write-off for Hanan.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever you think of all the wrestlers involved, I feel like this white belt transition, if it is that, has been well booked. There are obviously so many people that could hold the white belt, but I think the way this has been booked makes sense. In terms of Starlight Kid working me, I wasn't going to say what you said, but I think she is the best babyface in the world. I think I'm ready to say that. I think she's
amazing, yeah.
I think this was one of her best ever selling performances. And I'll tell you why I think that. So I actually bit on the paint and belt shot to Starlight Kid. So I thought at that I had zero chance that Konami was winning going into this. I hadn't read any theories or anything like that. But when that paint shot, the paint and the belt shot happened, I was like, Konami's going to pin her here. So the heel spot, which I normally hate with a passion, because it's just not my thing. I understand like the place it has. That interference spot was incredible. It worked perfectly. I got so much more invested in the match after it happened. And that's because of the way Starlight Kid sold it. I think she's one of the best sellers in the world. I think she's the best wrestler in the company. I started rooting for Starlight Kid after that belt shot, and I started getting mad at hate. I was reacting to the match as if it was fucking real. So I don't think there's many other wrestlers that can do that. And the fucking crazy thing is, she's masked. I don't know how she's able to exhibit so much like charisma or personality or ability to sell while being masked too. It's like her voice, you know, like when it trembles when she's in a submission hold. I don't know. It was amazing. She was on another level in this match, to be honest.
That was actually gonna be one of my hotter takes about the matches that I did really like the heel spots too. Like just the same as you said. Like the spray paint to the face was. It was so perfectly timed and it worked so well, like just for the story of the match, and it just helped elevate the match instead of ruining it, like some people tend to believe these kinds of like interference spots often do. But in this case, it worked wonderfully because Starlight Kid is perfect at selling stuff like that.
But us talking about this match more, by the way, is making me realize I don't know what I was thinking and saying May Sarah was my match of the night. This match was so fucking good, to be honest.
It was really good, yeah. One thing I wanted to ask Dave, you know Konami's submission move, right? I think we talked about this back on the board like years ago. How weird her submission move is because it basically folds the arm in the way it's supposed to go. But I thought in this match is sometimes it really looks fucking rough to take. Like just either she yanks at the arm so hard that it looks like it's not about the elbow, it's about the shoulder, yanking it out of the socket, which maybe works better if you do it that way. But in this match, she was more about like the wrist clutch. Yeah. And I thought her submission looked fucking brutal. Both times they teased it earlier in the match, and then ultimately it led to Starlight Kid giving up. But what did you think about her submission?
Yeah, I thought it was better in this match. I've still heard... It's one of those things where, to me, it makes no sense as a hold. And I've heard people explain why it is a legitimate hold, but they all explain it differently. So I have heard she's pulling the shoulder out of the socket, or she's twisting it against the groove or something. And also, yes, it's actually a wrist lock. And all of that could be legitimate. I think it did look like she was kind of working the wrist quite effectively in this one. It's just that because it's the position the arm's in, it should just be so easy to escape from. And it's quite a tenuous way to hold the arm when it's bending favorably to the person in the hold. So it's like I always have that slight, even in this match where I thought she did it really well, she like made it look like she was trying her best to hurt her. I still in my head I'm like, that's so easy to get out of. And it's not the only move like that. There's loads of moves like that. But it's just it's always in my head. I can't not see it. So that it doesn't take the match down for me. It's just I find her move bizarre. But I did want to add, because I got worked by Starlight Kid and or Konami, but in a different way from you two guys. So I like as you know, when you're watching matches, there is like not a pattern, but there's kind of like a language that you pick up on. And one of the things, because I had thought Konami could win, I didn't know. But towards the end, I decided Konami wasn't winning. And that was because of the order in which they did the near falls. So let's give an example. Like, it's normally really bad for you if you're the first person to do the no sell spot, or you're the first person to do the kick out at one. That doesn't normally work out well for that person. There's also like patterns in which you do the finishes in can sometimes tell you who's going to hit the third and final finisher. And in this one, when Konami's interference backfired for the second time, or even maybe the first time, in my head that just not made me convinced, so I tuned out, but just made me think, kid's probably got this. And obviously I was completely wrong. So she actually took me from thinking Konami was winning to being like, no, she's got this. But so I had it a completely different being words from you two guys.
Isn't that amazing though? That a wrestling match can work for three of us in entirely different ways.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this. Oh man. The more we talk about it, this was a masterpiece. I mean, just the way I love matches that can make me think something's real. I'm more high on those types of matches maybe than other people. I want to believe what I'm watching is real.
I would say,
and they did that here.
I would say by masterpiece, do you mean 7.8 on Cage Match? Just throw that.
Yeah, no,
I think that out there.
I think 7.8 is a bit.
No.
I think maybe people expect a certain style. I think Starlight Kid's so unique that it's actually really hard to rate her matches. She just does something fucking new every single match. I can't believe how good she is at it as well. Like innovating like her match structures.
I think cage match voters are also very like emotionally affected by they
results,
disagree with the booking choice.
100%.
So one other thing, did you guys see that half and half suplex Konami did?
Fucking disgusting.
I thought she died, seriously.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Insane.
Oh, and I know
I didn't know the. You go.
I can't win every time. Okay, I was also just going to say, we're just complimenting moves. I know she does it in every match, but the Konami's execution of the diving enziguri and Kid Cell, I thought were incredible. And the fire slap timing was really good too, as well. So great all round.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I thought she kicked her head.
She probably did as well.
Yeah.
She did also kick her head.
I didn't know the bridging tiger suplex was called a star suplex. I guess I don't know move names, but yeah, Walker knows all of these.
Oh yeah, that surprised me as well. I wrote tiger suplex too. I heard him say star suplex, but I defied.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
Oh, can I ask you guys?
I think she calls it tiger suplex too. Honestly, sorry.
Because you guys watch like the AEW TV show more than me. I watch many of the pay-per-views. Is this true that Takeshita calls the Kamigoyo just kneeing people in the face the Wagamama knee? Because I hate this.
He does, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fair enough. I just wanted to know if that was a Walkerism or if that was true.
It's the Wagamama.
Okay, I never heard that either.
Just because of the chain restaurant.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the restaurant. Is it a Japanese name? It must be a Japanese word.
I think it means glorious wave or something. They said Walker did say what it meant, but I was like, it's just him making it up. But no, okay, that is one. Fair enough.
Okay. I have one more question about the result in general and SAK taking a break. So she was really banged up early on in the year, like around February. Actually, around the time of the first Konami match which
It was 10th of March. She had a match in Barb Sasaki's show that which like kind of like pulled a shoulder.
oh
or something.
right, the Bob Sasaki show.
Yeah,
was-
on the 10th of March.
exactly.
So she's been injured since March.
She landed on her shoulder badly.
Yes,
I remember that spot very, very vividly. And then the Konami match happened after that, I think, and
Yes,
that couldn't have helped because that was a fucking brutal match.
Yep.
And like initially, I already thought like at All-Star Grand Queendom that Starlight Kid is just gonna drop to Azumi and take time off. Do you think so? So has it been confirmed that this is the same injury still that she is now taking time off for like 8 months later?
I don't think they specified the type of injury.
But do you think it is? Because
I
that
mean,
would be kind of
probably.
crazy, you know?
Like she hasn't been taking a break, right?
No, she hasn't. I mean, maybe she like, I don't know. Maybe she had like a miracle healing in between. I don't know how to explain it, but that would be crazy. Like the caliber and the caliber of matches she had since then. Like she never wrestled like she was actually injured, right?
No.
That's crazy.
I mean, she needs to be on more like legitimately like on more awards lists. She is mind-blowingly good.
Yeah, true.
I can't believe she transitioned from a high-speed wrestler into like one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. It's just,
But high speed is just going fast. It doesn't mean it doesn't like limit your wrestling ability.
Yeah.
Will Ospreay used to be a high speed wrestler.
yeah, it still is.
I did also, like, I didn't talk about this earlier, but I did also note this in the Azumi match earlier, that Azumi really, like, just showed all her, like, technical wrestling prowess against Waka Tsukiyama in the match earlier.
Yeah.
So, like, Starlight Kid and Azumi are, like, actually excellent, like, technical wrestlers as well, so.
Yeah, and Dave, I guess it's more that that's how they're seen, to be honest. That's the perception, right? That they just go super fast with no selling on Azumi. And I still think people think that about Starlight Kid, like certain sect of fans, but it's just,
Well, like
she is completely evolved as a wrestler.
well, like Joshi fans or just like internet clip people. Because I don't.
Yeah, probably more like internet.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah, I don't know. Who cares? Not about your point about them.
No, you're right. Who cares? Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Well,
Should we go.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Okay.
Let's not go into this. I'm just
it's
gonna
not
get
worth
angry. Anyway, anything more on this match? We didn't really talk like about every move or stuff, but
We spoke about the big stuff.
we talked about the big stuff. That's true. Excellent match. And then we had the match for the World of Stardom title and the New Japan Strong Women's title between Saya Kamitani and Momo Watanabe, the 5-star winner, which went 21 minutes and 30 seconds. And Saya Kamitani defeated Momo, who is also gonna rest for a while with a knee injury. Right, big picture stuff. What did you think of Momo losing? What did you think of nothing happening? What do you think overall? Dave?
I was kind of hoping you come to me last on this one, just because I.
All right.
No. I can go. No, I'll go first. I can still go first.
Okay.
It's just because, like,
However you guys want.
I'm less. I agree with the criticisms of the booking. I'm just less. It doesn't like reading cage match things. I see that really takes people out of matches, and it doesn't for me so much because most of the time I assume I know who's going to win, and most of the time I'm right. Not because I'm great at predicting, just because most of the time your champion's not going to lose a match to a contender who's not realistically going to win it. But I wholeheartedly agree with the lack of storyline here. I was thinking about this regarding Momo winning, why she won the GP, and unless there is some kind of she was meant to challenge Surrey because that was kind of for the IWGP because that was more set up in the tournament than perhaps this match. I did almost wonder if they're doing this gimmick, and everyone's going to hate this online, so yeah, prepare yourselves. If they're doing this gimmick where Saya is the most undefeatable, we're giving her all the belts, she's going to become the big baddie, and then someone's going to beat her, wouldn't it? It would almost make more sense creatively if you're going to do this as the build, to have Saya win the GP and be like, you know what, I want to give the title shot to my friend Momo, and we'd just laugh about it, and then we'll have a great match because we like and respect each other, and we're a bit dickish. And then we'll move on. And in that way, the 5-star would still mean not much in terms of the winning aspects. It doesn't mean much for Momo now to have won it, but at least it would mean, oh, Saya's won this, she's won that, she's won this, she's taking everything, and then Starlight Kid, presumably, in my opinion, or whoever, defeats her and ends Reign of Terror. So as I say, it didn't affect my enjoyment of the match at all. but I do. It is a very bizarre build and a very bizarre like way to use your main tournament to set up a kind of an interim challenger that Momo can just challenge at any time because she's Momo. So so I don't have super hot take, but that was my thinking.
I think emotionally, just going back to the idea you said, emotionally, I would have hated what you just said. But from a booking point of view, it actually would have been more logical than what they did here. Or I would have been like more receptive to that booking than what they've done here. I guess I'm kind of with you, so maybe Tim can play the other side. So I think that so for me the build does actually make or break a match, and it does affect me and take me in or out of a match how they built it. So a really well built match, I will love a match even more if it's been well built. It'll just like add that, if you want to talk ratings, like half a star or a star, just because I love the way they've built to the match and how they've, because in professional wrestling, matches either build up to the culmination of a storyline or they're the culmination themselves. So this match was the latter, right? So I think that the culmination was made unsatisfying by a lack of a good build-up. So I think the problem I have with the build is that they did a really basic can they coexist storyline, and I think I'm just expecting a bit more creatively from Stardom than something like that. It's like something, no offense Dave, I'd expect from like WWE type storyline, and I'm just not used to seeing it in Stardom. That yes, I was expecting an angle. I didn't need Momo to win, right? So you can listen back to what I said on the podcast. I just needed something to happen because the build was so nothing. If the build was something, then obviously I wouldn't have expected an angle. So yeah, I think the way they did the build wasn't great. It was just so mundane by the numbers, and I think if you're not going to give Momo the win, why not make it more interesting? Why not tease Momo kicking Saya out or the other way around? Like Momo's closing promo when she rolled out the ring here just said it all. It was the most super standard, like wrestler in Japan losing a title promo. I'm so annoyed, I won't give up. And then Saya was like, "Oh Momo, you're so strong." I don't know. I'm just expecting more. If Momo's losing her 5-star challenge and you don't want to give the win to someone else, why not make it more interesting? That's my main criticism about this.
And just to respond briefly,
it was just boring.
Yeah, just to respond, I wholeheartedly agree with that. I don't have any praise for the build-up at all. I was, in my head, I would, because I really loved the match, my point about does the build matter? It wasn't the build should be bad. I 100% agree. Like all my favorite matches of the year have like a heavy emotional component rather than the best technical matches, with the exception of the first Sari one. So I do 100% agree with that. I was more just the school of thought that in watching it, I just had a wait of a time, but I also had like a heavy work day, and I was like, watching wrestling's the best. So it might have been some of that. But I would also say, like, why couldn't this have been the main event of what the hell is it called? Was it Stardom to the World, the one before the GP? Like, this could just be a good, strong defense for Saya, and then you use the GP for something else. It's more that aspect that it's the placement that's bizarre. As you say, it begs you to expect an angle or something, and they didn't deliver. Well, I thought they delivered a really good match. I really loved the match, so I'm not angry at that. But I do understand why people online are very not you, because you've got good reasons. People online are like, "Oh, I knew Momo wouldn't win, so it's equals terrible." That's why I was responding to more than your point. I think your point is completely correct.
Yeah, I don't think Momo was going to win. I didn't need her to win, to be honest. So I'm not surprised about the result at all. Tim? Yeah. Are you going to blow us out of our socks? Or?
No, yes, maybe. I have one question, and that is it just me being too much of a fan of... Is it me making too many excuses or huffing too much of the copium when I lay out the theory that they did plan on doing something more, and when it became like more and more apparent that Momo needs to have time off after this match, they decided actively to postpone all of that stuff until Momo can be back, and maybe they're gonna go back to it then. But like once Momo said she is injured and she has to take time off to heal her knee, they didn't even do a press conference for this show. They did nothing. They did nothing in the build-up. They did nothing after. And once Momo announced that she's taking time off, that kind of clicked for me that maybe they just didn't want to do the big ass angle that splits off Hate or kicks Saya out of Hate or whatever, when Momo's just gonna not be there then for the next 6 months or however long she's taking time off.
So you think they decided that after the 5-star win had already been done? Because that's the only way that makes sense.
Maybe,
right?
yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, why would you have her win the 5-star when?
Well, just because they wanted to give her, because she's always wanted to win the 5-star, right?
I mean that also that was gonna be another point I was gonna make, that the 5-star win doesn't always have to be the red belt win, and I think they did that mainly because it's just a really feel good moment for Momo, and like a thing she was missing. And
well, yeah, but the problem is the build, right? Not the actual result. Like you don't have to have a bad build.
Like, right. What? No, yeah. But yeah, my point is, my theory is not really my point. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, after she'd already won. Yeah.
My theory is, did they abandon basically the build after it was clear that she has to take time off? Maybe that's just a theory I have.
Well, no. And also the build is a result of the destination, is dependent on the destination you're trying to get to. So if whatever your destination was, whether it's what Tim's suggesting, or as I say, I just assumed when she won it would be more of an IWGP thing, and I wonder if those plans have changed with what I think presumably New Japan did with the first title change, and then they've obviously decided they want Saya at the Dome. So, which makes sense from their point of view, I'd imagine. So I don't, because in my head, like, that's who she has an issue with. She has an issue with Sari. That's who they built a lot of the tournament around the facing. So in my head, when she won, I thought, one, it's been effective in that it's drawn a big crowd for the finals, and people like that happy moment for Momo, even though she's a heel, whatever. But I just directionally, it didn't feel like Saya, unless, as you say, unless your plan is to do a big split. It didn't feel like Saya made much sense as a direction for her. But again, that preview tag they did, which I quite enjoyed, they did literally do the explicit thing of, hey, look, Hate, it kind of mirrors itself. There's two young upstarts. There's, unfortunately, Konami got paired with fucking Death, which is a bit mean to her. But and there's a Raka, and so that you could split them in cleanly in a Civil War and have two exact mirror teams, as in they have a lot of duplication within their unit. So you could have split them. And I thought that match kind of drew attention to that in a way. But again, I think the build probably depends on destination. So either they had a really stupid destination, which is we've given Momo the win because it's nice for Momo, and we're just going to have a match in a month, which it could be, and that's just the bad booking they did. Or it could be they had one of these other plans we're imagining, and they've fallen through for whatever reason, or plans changed, and they just decided to just get the match out of the way.
Yeah, that's kind of my theory.
I mean, it sounds like we all agree, though, that the build was bad. Whether it was intentional or not, the end result was not good, right?
Oh, agreed.
Yeah, we did talk about the podcast. We did talk about that on the podcast a little bit. Is that I always quite enjoyed the little bit of tension that was in the air, but never really played out. I did kind of enjoy that, but then really never anything happening is, of course, a bit of a disappointment. I will disagree with one point you made, absolutely, and that is Momo's post-match promo wasn't really just a nothing thing to me. I think especially for Momo, who is this really she always acts like nothing really gets to her. Or she's always this badass, ironic, always the smirk on her face, never letting any feelings show or whatever. And I don't think I've ever seen her this emotional and destroyed after a match like she was when she cut this promo, especially that backstage too. Then when she announced her hiatus, I think the way she was really in tears and really emotional about her loss, and I think that did mean something to me. That whenever she's gonna come back, that maybe there will be something that they're gonna do with this. To me that post-match promo was a bit more special, I guess, than it was to you.
Yeah, seems like it. Should we talk about the match then?
Yeah, sure.
Or do you want to talk about what they announced? And then we can just do the match after.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Kind of related.
Sorry, why didn't Sari win the GP? That seems like an obvious question. I want to talk about the
So
match because I love
that's
the
the
match,
other
but I thought that's like that surely goes into our conversation of like they've just speaking of not much build, like.
So I think my view on that is, so I guess just to give context. So after the match, and then we'll talk about the match. After the match, Saori, wait, who came out first? No, I mean,
They came out together.
Shuri came out
roughly.
yeah, Suri. Yeah,
Oh,
sorry. Yeah, Suri came out, and then she was like, "Yeah, I accept." Well, she was just like, "I'm going to face you in the Tokyo Dome," because Saya said she would be at Wrestle Kingdom. So Suri accepted, and then they put the double titles on the line: the IWGP Women's Championship and the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. And then afterwards, Saori Anou came out, and she was basically like, "That red belt's for me," or "I want that red belt," words to that effect. And then Saya was like, "Oh my god, what should I do? I'm so popular." And then she was like, "Okay, I'll take Suri in the Dome just for the IWGP Strong Women's title, and then I'll take Saori in Sumo Hall a few days earlier on the 29th of December." So that's the context. So I think whether this is a good decision or not for me depends on the result. So if Saori loses, I'm going to go pretty hard, and I would say that they've jumped the shark on Sai's gimmick. So I think this is like a must-win match for Saori. This time I'm not saying they need an angle, which is what I said for Momo. I'm saying Saori needs to fucking win that belt. If Saori wins, then I think the double booking of the Tokyo Dome and Sumo Hall is actually pretty good, and my only issue would have been the Momo build. So yeah, it really depends on if Saori's winning or not for me.
Yeah. I think, to me, this actually enhances the Dream Queendom match. Like the way they did it, right? Because Saya made sure to say only the strong belt is on the line at the Tokyo Dome, and only the red belt is on the line on Dream Queendom show. So this opens the possibility to me for Saya to lose the championship on December 29th, if anything, because before that, like they already announced Saya for the Tokyo Dome, right? So before this was announced in the way it was, I thought there was zero chance that Saya was going to lose at Dream Queendom. Like this, it makes it a bit more like it opens up the possibility a bit more to me. So I think that like people said this is like double booking. That's not at all what it is, actually. This, if anything, like enhances the chances for me, or like enhances the match on Dream Queendom. So I really liked how they did that. And I don't think that Saya has to lose to Saori, honestly.
That would be crazy.
I think if you have someone like Saya who's working this well for the audience, for the promotion, then there's no real reason to take belts off of her, because it has like reached a certain like duration or whatever. So
well, it's not about that. It's about character evolution, right? We spoke about it on the previous episode. I don't care if someone holds a belt for 3 years, but the character has to evolve. If she's just going to win 3 belts and be the exact same character, that's just not fun to watch. What I will say though is, yes, she doesn't. I guess I said it was must win for Saori. I could see a world where Saya keeps the red belt but loses to Suri. That would be equally acceptable to me, I guess. I just don't need to see the belt collector gimmick on Saya.
Well, but what if there's this scenario, okay? So Saya wins against Saori, and Saya wins against Shuri, and she has all the belts. And there's absolutely no one in Stardom who's actively in Stardom, who can stop her.
Yeah.
What if after Saya beats Shuri at the Tokyo Dome, all the lights go out in the whole Tokyo Dome?
Okay, I'm listening.
And you hear Tam Nakano's music. And she comes back in the Tokyo Dome because Tam Nakano said she talked about wanting to do the Tokyo Dome so many times, right? As a Stardom show, she obviously fought in the Tokyo Dome before. But would it make sense for Tam to not come back and challenge Saya after the Tokyo Dome match to another Tokyo Dome match for the Stardom only show at the Tokyo Dome that they have already planned for some point later in the year?
Well, she has to rappel down from the rafters first, though. She has to go in like Darby Allin style, right?
She does, yeah.
Dave, what do you think about that?
I don't know whether I should engage in this or not, but just encourage more.
No. About the Saya Sari thing.
Yeah, so I'm more with Tim. I'm just not too bothered. I think they're probably looking at their. I think they're just, as I say, like Tim said, I think because they had two dominant champions and now one of them's lost, so you are going to get some variety going forward from that. I think you've got your dominant champion. You've got, presumably, I think Bushi Road, based on what they did immediately after Rossi leaving, I think they are quite metrics driven. I think if they got the sense this wasn't working, or there's someone they really want to put the title on for commercial reasons, I think Okada would probably come under great pressure to do that. So I think while you've got her there, I mean, if she can lose, it would be fun. I don't mind. It would be exciting. That wouldn't be a bad thing. I'm just saying, I'm more of the school of thought that when you're transitioning out of this high level champion, you almost want to try and put it on the person who will rise to that occasion perfectly next. And I don't know whether Sari is the best person for that. And I'm not saying you can't ever have a lose, because you can, of course, have like a lose and switch back type thing. But I would still be looking more towards if I was booking, I would want to be building the people below. So whether that's Kid, obviously, I think they seem to like Hanan. I know you don't. I think Poi from the metrics and anyone else. I just feel like you want to create 3 or 4 contenders with a huge swell of impetus and momentum in the way that Kid clearly does have, and then make people want that title change to happen and then deliver it. And like, again, not to compare to WWE, but I think that is one of the things they did effectively with Roman and Cody, in that they found the person the fans really wanted it to happen before, didn't necessarily know I say didn't know because they thought it was going to happen the year before, but build to that moment when you have this rare thing of a super dominant and commercially successful champion. Like if it was just she's a great wrestler, then you can kind of lose at any time. But it's the kind of it's that commercial aspect. I would be reticent to just change things for that sake. But yeah, I say character tweaks, more interesting storylines. But from Saya's side of things, I guess I would say like maybe they could give her a few to sink her teeth into. I know we discussed this in our Discord previously, but I think one of the big problems with Saya's reign, as someone who enjoys it, is that they never bloody rematch any of the contenders she has personal issues with, or if they do, they're like so far apart. Like I would like her to have some stories. Like I would happily have 3 matches with Sari if they can build an issue out of it. So I'm more on that side of things. I'd like to see more variety in storytelling as opposed to necessarily variety in results.
Well, I think I'm agreeing. But I think I'm maybe losing faith in the ability to tell a variety of stories, because it's been 15 months, and you know they had obviously the Tam Nakano feud, and well, I guess since the Tam Nakano, it's been 6 months, and you know no character change. So I guess if they're suddenly going to start telling interesting stories, that's fine. But they haven't so far. So I guess I'm just a bit more down on the reign. And also I think just the last part on her reign is, I think she's actually not far off the point where the fans are okay seeing her lose. I don't know if you noticed during the match, but after Momo hit the Peach Sunrise, normally, on a near fall like that, the crowd would chant for the person who just kicked out. Because, you know, they almost lost, so then you chant their
They were behind Momo big, yeah.
But instead, after Momo almost won, they started chanting Momo. That crowd was 100% ready for Momo to beat Saya. So I think the crowds are ready for that, and it's not like Saya is untouchable at the top. That's why Sari's a good contender to take the belt off Saya, and I think if Saya just moves on to just take 3 belts, I think it just pushes aside, especially like the Cosmic Angels storyline, because the Cosmic Angels storyline right now, well, we'll see what they do with it, but I think it's a bit overshadowed by the Tokyo Dome match. And if Sari loses, it just feels like a not satisfying end to that storyline. I guess the real question is, if you have a star, is it better to like spread the load and have that star power rub off on others rather than put all your eggs in one basket? And I think if she gets 3 belts, it's too much, I think. So for me, at least.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I do also think the crowd really wanted to have the turn. You could tell at the after the match when they did the handshake, Saya stuck her hand out, like the crowd was really anticipating the turn. And when Momo just shook the hand, that felt like really deflating for the crowd too.
Yeah, so and that's not what you want.
That didn't work for. Yeah.
I would also say 2 things. I know, not to disagree particularly, but I would say almost always when you're there in attendance, and especially when it's a heel champion, even if it's a nominal heel, you almost do always cheer for the event, the happening to happen. So like, if I was in that crowd, I'd probably be like super stoked on Momo winning, and the crowd obviously were. But it's like, do you going forward as a viewer, are you ready for the next few months of Momo as champion? Is that what you want? So that's why I think it's more important to get the right person, not because in the moment crowd aren't ready for the other person to win. I think if the challenge is good and Momo's good and like lots of challenges Saya's had have been good, they will be excited for that moment. It's just, are they where you want them to be for what comes next? And I think there's like countless examples of wrestling where like you lose to someone who seems like not hot in the moment, like Momo's a trend, but like they want it right now. But then you're into your Momo red belt round and what's the story type thing. So I'm not, but again, I'm not really disagreeing. I'm just because it's all just different shades.
Yeah, the last thing on that is, but Saori and Poi have one of the highest records at Ota Award this year. Like Saori and Poi are the most popular stars in Japan, man or woman. So like a Saori red belt reign would do terrific. Like I don't buy the idea necessarily that Saya is like the only person that can carry the company as a red belt champion. That's kind of why I buy the idea that she might get moved to the IWGP division and lose to Saori, and then Saya can just have all the outsider matches she wants, and she can have a match with Mercedes if she wants, so she can do whatever she wants in that division as one of the most popular stars in the company. And the red belt can be on Saori and tell a lot of different stories. Saori has like way more variety of challenges, I think, than Saya going into a red belt reign. I think is maybe where I'll leave it. Yeah. And maybe we could talk about that.
Well, one more thing? Just because I do agree with that. And as I say, when I was doing my list of people, Poi, Saori, anyone from Cosmic Angels, because of the inherent storyline, I think would be good choices. I was just more thinking like, when I say what's coming next, I'm not saying they can't do it. It's more just like, what does the promoter have in his mind as his next thing? And it depends on his destination, because I'm probably over-biasing it in terms of what I think they're thinking. So I think it's Kid. I think it's Kid, and I think it really obviously should be Kid next. I think it's really obvious. I think Kid gets the most out of beating Saya and like beating her, like absolutely killing her, like 3 finishes after a long match type of deal.
They teased it as well already earlier in the year.
And I think that's it might not be the most interesting thing for the few months in between, but I think getting there is worth it. But again, it's all reliant on them booking it well. But yeah, if I love Sarah, if she became champion, that'd be great. So I'm not.
We're making a lot of assumptions about the destination, and they could. This still has the potential to be really good the way they've booked it. So I will sit and wait.
So did you see that Saya did Sari's submission hold in the match?
I did not.
Yes.
But I saw you mention it.
So yeah, Sari isn't out of the question for me as well. Do you guys think? Do you remember who Saya betrayed to turn heel?
Maika,
yeah.
Right. What if she's coming?
You mean
back?
our tag league champion?
Do you think she's ex?
Oh, I don't know if she is. I just but maybe it's probably Xena.
Yeah. That would be my other thing. So it's either like those are the 5 names I guess I got as well. It's like Saori or Natsupoi would make sense from a storyline perspective. Sari still isn't out of the question, and I think Saya teased it in the match. Starlight Kid and Maika would be cool for me too. Yeah. But like my hot take maybe about the match is that I'm really starting to enjoy this Saya in the ring as a wrestler, and I guess her character, because like obviously I'm not known as a big Saya enjoyer. Obviously she retired my favorite wrestler and I should hate her forever. But this match really worked for me really, really well. And I think I'm really starting, this is maybe also why I'm not like that big on her immediately needing to lose the belt to Saori here, because like something about this match clicked for me and I really kind of dug it. I think this match was sick. A lot of great stuff happening, and like Saya specifically, like her selling was excellent to me. Like her whole character work in the match was so good. The storytelling, and they even got me by the end. Like the second Peach Sunrise really got me. And I thought for a second Momo might win. Momo was already crying at that point, and I thought, why would she start crying? Maybe she's winning. Maybe she's finally getting the red belt. Why is she crying? But she didn't, in fact, win. But anyway, I really enjoyed this match. I really thought Saya was excellent. I thought Momo was excellent, as she always is. They did a couple of sick stuff, like the big B-driver on the apron, this fucking huge leg scissors to the outside from the apron. They did this wrist clutch kick Momo did. Looked so insane. And just in general, a great match to me. This was actually my match of the night immediately after it happened. After we talked so much about the Starlight Kid match, you guys also had me like think about if the Starlight Kid match maybe match of the night. But I think it's this one, honestly. I kind of loved this match. What did you guys think?
Dave, you go first.
Okay, well, I wrote to my close personal friend Dave Meltzer and told him that I had both matches as best match of the night. I wasn't going to pick, so that was my feedback. I really love this match, and it's annoying because you guys have said nice things about Saya. So I don't think there are many podcasts that are particularly in.
I don't think I have.
No, you haven't. True, but generally, I don't think most podcasts are that into her work. So of the main ones I've listened to anyway. So I thought I would make the case for why I think she's pretty great, even though not the greatest. But like, I think there are aspects of her work that I really enjoy that I want to pick out. And she's not actually, because there's kind of a meme because I use her as my like tag and stuff, and I enjoy trolling with Saya stuff. But she's not actually my favorite wrestler. But I did want to say why I think she's really good in the ring, and I'll get on with that and stop rambling. So one of the things I really like in wrestlers, I'm a big fan of defense, kind of what I describe as defensive wrestlers, or wrestlers where their impact on the match is what's done to them. So a lot of my favorites, like Okada, who was I was going to say? I had a big list of them in my head who are just like, before he kind of took his mask off, Andrade, his selling and his bumping and his all my offense backfires timing, I think, was immaculate, especially when he was La Sombra. So I really appreciate workers who do that. And I think Saya's like physical bumping is out of this world. Like, she does sometimes do over the top selling, but like the actual bumping, if you look at the kicks she took from Momo and the slams and the way she bumps at each of them is like like not the magical snowflake thing, but they are like almost all unique, circumstantial. She does so many unique quirks using her body to do that. And in a way, this reminds me of AJ Styles in reverse, because AJ Styles was always praised for like every move he does. He doesn't do a cartoonish version of it where he's like a goofy indie worker, but he does like the way he throws a forearm, the way he does a backdrop. It's all got like a little AJ flourish to it. And I think Saya does that in reverse. Like every move she takes in a unique, bespoke kind of Saya way, and quite match dependent as well. So not just for the sake of doing it. So I love that. So like some of the corner kick bumps she took were like just wild. I don't know if I'd seen those physical contortions happen before. So I really enjoyed that. And now another...
Not to interrupt you, but I think that explains perfectly what it was about this match that really made me appreciate Saya in this match so much. I think you just explained it perfectly. So yeah, go on.
Thank you. And also that's why she's also very suited to this type of opponent. So I would like her to have a match with Sari at some point, because I think her battering the crap out of her would be very entertaining. I know she's had tag matches, one-on-one. So the other person she reminds me of, not at all in style, and again, this is if you want the angry Saya fans to have a go at your podcast, I'm really gonna bring them all here. The other person I was going to compare her to is Okada, and that's specifically because he is like a master of timing, and I don't think Saya's anywhere near his level of timing, but she has like 3 signature spots that she always does, and you always know are going to happen, and the match won't end until they happen, but she doesn't always do them exactly when you expect. So one of them is the Flash Rana, which she did on the apron, which you can kind of see coming, but she times it really well. But then she did it later as a top rope counter from the floor to the top rope on Momo, which I thought was awesome. She does a low angle backflip counter at a really, really low angle. And she only ever does it once per match. So she'll counter a German suplex or like a sunrise throw or like some random throw. I think even Natsupoi. Oh yeah, Natsupoi, it was the weird poi suplex she countered with it. But she does it in every match. And I can never quite pick when it's going to come, and it's always amazing. It's always sudden as well. It's well timed, but it's sudden. So it's not just like the hard cam's on me, time to do my backflip. And the other one is her bridge up. But unfortunately, the cameras miss that every time because they don't seem to be able to predict when she's going to do it. Although Clue, if the opponent's going to the top rope and the opponent's Momo Watanabe, it's probably going to be then. So anyway, I just wanted to praise some of the things, only because, not because I'm like trying to say she's the greatest wrestler in the world or anything like that. I don't think that's true at all. It's just more because at least the majority of podcasts I listen to aren't particularly into her, so you never get to hear the case for why she's great at wrestling. And those are the aspects that she does well. And they're also aspects I enjoy. Oh, Utami's the other person I was going to say. So like Okada, Utami, La Sombra, people who like bump and sell, and it's all defensive. It's all about telling the story and making your opponent look better. But you often don't get praise for that because essentially you're making them look cool. So I've been talking a lot, so I'll hand over to Eric.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
She sucks.
So I was lower in this match, but I'm thinking, how can I verbalize what I didn't like? And I'm struggling. So I think it was just an emotional response to it. So I think the story of the match, just like the build really does affect me. Like I'm one of those viewers where I need the build to make sense for me to enjoy a match. And it was just on my mind the entire time. And I felt like the way they laid out the match just didn't make sense to me. So like you guys have been speaking about like the moves they did and, you know, some of the athletic, I guess, nature of the bumping. I can never fault Sai's bumping. She is an amazing bumper. But like Sai was like full like lucha babyface in this match. She was like doing all of the flippy shit that she did as much as possible. Like we were almost just missing the Phoenix splash at that point. And it seemed like the story they were telling early on was like who could be more of a heel. You know, they're like taking turns like throw each other into the crowd. It seemed to be that the answer was Momo with her use of weapons. So she was the heel and Sai was the babyface. And Momo was getting more and more vicious, which I really liked, like the sick dragon suplex or the half and half into three tomatoes. There was just some... I just couldn't really buy the story that Sai was this babyface in peril, sort of, and that story just didn't connect with me. And there were a few spots that I just didn't like. Tim, we spoke about pin reversals on the Marigold Twin Star match. There was a pin reversal here that was the one I don't like.
Yeah, that was dumb.
So it was on the first... Yeah, it was on the first non-spinny Star Crusher, and it was Momo.
Yeah.
Momo just completely no-sold the Star Crusher like that.
I agree on that.
Sorry, can I just jump in? I just want to say, because you talked about that last week, and I really want to say, the thing I hate about that spot is, if you do it, and it doesn't work for the win, you should be just out of it. You should be like dead. That should have been your last gasp. You shouldn't be running like Momo. Like that, I didn't like that. She's like no. She's like actually regained control by doing that. That's nonsense.
That's what no sell is. That is 100% no sell.
I will agree on that for sure.
Yeah. So now, just speaking aloud, I think I just wasn't grabbed by the story. I really liked the bumping. I really liked the moves in this match. Like the second Peach Sunrise was sick. It was so brutal. Loved that spot. But the story of the match just didn't compel me, I think. And I think that's the easiest way to put it. But I still thought it was a really good match. But I just preferred like the Starlight Kid. The story of that match really grabbed me. So I can't say Sai was bad in this match or anything, because I don't think she was. I just think the structure of the match and how they worked it was a bit odd to me.
Yeah, and to follow up, I would, in terms of what you're saying, I think that is true. And I think, especially if you're looking at it in the babyface heel context, I can see that. The way I think the reason I really enjoyed it and got into it was because I was viewing it more as the start of the match, like I think Tim described. They were kind of, or maybe you described, they were trying to like out heel each other. Like Saya's doing her, putting her foot on the face. She's doing that thing where she like, again, uses her whole body to like grind your face, and she does like some crazy contortions doing Sari's hold. So they were doing that, but obviously Momo wins because Momo's just, well, one, she cheats more, and two, she like kicks 10 times harder than you. And she kicks harder. Like Saya was getting obliterated a lot of the time. So I thought Saya going to the high flying stuff wasn't like, I'm the babyface. I thought it was more, this is the one technique advantage I have over you. Like, you throw a suplex, I hit you with a rana that you can't see coming. So I was doing it more of like a work storyline, as in like, how are we trying to beat each other, as opposed to, the emotional storyline of like, I'm the underdog or you're the dominant. Yeah, so for me it was like that, and I found that quite engaging. I was like, what can Sai do that actually affects her? So I was enjoying that. And I was going to say, what can Momo do? We know what Momo can do, kick her really hard in the chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that I was talking about earlier as well. Like the story of the match that I liked is what you just said. essentially.
I just felt like
more of a work standpoint here.
I felt like they were just fighting the crowd a bit. Like it seems like everyone wants Momo to be the babyface. Like they didn't fight the crowd on the 5-star final, right? We basically had babyface Momo in that final, so I thought they would go more for that, and for Saya to like pull the full babyface in. I guess I just wasn't into it. I think that's simple as it. I just wasn't into it.
and she did once again wear the white gear as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I really thought we were getting like 5-star final Momo. So I guess I'll just
I think you got a good point in that. I do agree that maybe it would have made more sense if Momo was more in the babyface position. Yeah,
but anyway, it was still a really good match.
I think I do actually agree with that point in general in terms of the crowd. I think the crowd would have preferred that. I just think the downside of that is the match is then probably Saya working over Momo for a big comeback, which I don't know if this is. I mean, like it might. Yeah, I can't comment because it might be good, but like I think for goodness, I prefer it this way around.
Yeah,
I am now thinking I'm gonna take abuse for this again, but maybe I do think that I like the Starlight Kid match better now, thinking about it and the way we discussed the matches.
Join us.
It was a better. Yeah, maybe the story of the Starlight Kid match.
Yeah, just comparing them, like the Starlight Kid one was almost flawless. Like in terms of like how they told the story and like Starlight Kid being the babyface in peril. I thought it was just better worked than the Saya match, which is not to say the Saya match was bad. Anyone that says it was bad, is kind of cuckoo. It was a really good match, but the SRK one was just better in every way.
And also, we're arguing about which. Well, I know you weren't as high, but like essentially we're arguing about like which two awesome matches do we prefer. And like I said I'm not picking. I like them both. They did different things, and also like we're wrong because as I mentioned earlier, we're comparing a 7.89 to a 7.92. These are 7 out of 10 matches. Why do we care? So. I just want to say that many opinions differ, so it's fine for us to be splitting hairs on which one of two really good matches we preferred.
Absolutely. One last thing. As for my theory earlier about the Tokyo Dome, did you guys hear the promo Saya cut on Saori?
I read it. I think
she was like.
Do you think it?
Like on to.
Yeah, she was name dropping Tom like a million times in this promo. Do you think that's really a coincidence? They haven't been really talking about Tom ever since she was gone, but now all of a sudden Saya just spits
I think that's just
because
it's part of the Cosmic Angel storyline, and they dropped the Cosmic Angel storyline since Sapporo. They haven't done anything with that storyline, so it's a lack of storyline progression rather than like a hint. I think, like even Saya herself said, "Sari, where have you been? You've been super quiet." So they're even referencing in promos how they've done not much with the storyline since Sapporo. So I think,
But I think even in the build to the Natsupoi match earlier this year, it was like very subdued. Natsupoi mentioned Tom.
Yeah,
they did mention Tom. Saya, Natsupoi mentioned Tom, but more to say, more to explain like what Saya is doing that Natsupoi doesn't like, more than in a sense that I want to revenge Tam Nakano necessarily. And like here she was brought up way more like blatantly, as in like this is gonna be the story of the match, that you are gonna revenge Tam Nakano or whatever.
And I like that story, so I'm into it.
Yeah, of course, but I think it's just good.
Just to say a couple of.
Well, I don't think Tam's coming back.
Yes.
I was going to say just say a couple of things. I think one, obviously Eric just said Tam's not coming back, but if she were to, I do think that whenever all the heels turn on Saya and or she goes on a massive losing streak, I do think Tam should come and rescue her. I think that would make sense, or support her in some way. And the other point I was going to make is actually in terms of the storylines, I wonder if I don't know. Again, I don't know in Japan who controls what exactly, because I've never been that into finding out, because I don't want to. Sometimes you don't want to know too much. But like when it comes to picking the build, like is some of it not on what the workers choose to talk about? Because like wasn't Natsupoi's like main line of attack US stupid makeup and stuff like that? Like, and I feel like a few wrestlers went with that as opposed to like, you've got rid of our beloved mentor, or in in late, well, like I thought, but to give the other example as well, I thought Sari and Saya were doing. I really enjoyed their build up of like ridiculing each other's working style and like Sari doing a heel thing. So I was enjoying that build, but that again seems to be what they choose to talk about on social media and/or in promos. So like, I don't know how much of that is the company versus what just them doing whatever they want, really.
I do think that's a lot on the wrestlers, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, I got no idea if you're waiting for
me. No, if you got nothing more, we spent a hell of a lot of time on this show.
What are we doing with the rest of this show?
I thought I was going.
I think we should.
I was going to say. I forgot. I was going to ask you something at the beginning because I have finally, after Himika's retirement, picked a new favorite wrestler, and I was going to ask you at the beginning to see if you could figure out who it is. But there's still time to figure out. So I'll let you move on. But I was going to have that as an open, hanging thing to see if you could pick it out because you're not.
Well, are they coming up in our New Blood review or
potentially? But I won't say. They may have come up in the review already. Okay. But I was only going to say because you're no longer so associated with the Wrestling Observer. You might not have seen me pick my actual official new favorite wrestler pick. So I'll leave that hanging. I'll say later on, or give you a chance to figure it out. So it's not Hina, although Hina would be well up there. Come on.
I think Eric never really saw Himika. Did you?
No, I didn't. I've only seen a couple of matches from Actress Girls days.
Oh yeah, I got to show you some at some point. She was amazing.
Right, so I think we should only do the main event of New Blood, just because time. Does anyone disagree?
That's fine with me.
I mean, you wanted to talk about Debbie Kite a little bit, but
I'll talk about her another time. She'll pop up in Diana. So
I did like just one point about this match because I talked about the other episode when we had the Tomoka and Azusa debate. I did think the exchanges in this New Blood match in the Summer Main Event 6-man were very good again. Like I think it may have just been an outlier on the Starlight Kid show where I didn't like the Azusa and Tomoka interactions. I thought on this show they worked really great together.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, for context, we're now talking about the 30th of October New Blood show. It was held in Kanda Miyajin Hall. And so, I mean, just results-wise, Kikyo Furusawa beat Emma Maishima, so it was the first ever win for Kikyo. So they did, like, Emma winning... No, it started off with a draw, and then Emma won, and now Kikyo won, so they're just trading wins. Himiko from Diana beat Akira Kurigane. Himiko was a replacement for Nanami, who was injured. Yuki Mishiro, who's been on all the New Blood shows, beat Rian. It was a fine match. And then we had the match that Tim just mentioned. It was Azusa Inaba, Debbie Kaito, and Ram Kaichao versus Kyoko Katatsu, Rana Yugami, and Tomoka Inaba. And I had the same note. Like, the Inabas working each other was really good.
I got one more hot take about this match, okay?
Okay.
I think Kyoka Kotatsu is actually a comedic genius.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Because she's like... I don't want to say it. Why?
Because she's always no-selling these, like Ram Kaicho and Fukigen spots, right? And she gets booed to death by the audience. And like her facial expression every time, like her confused look at what's going on. Why are they booing me? I think it's so perfect. It pops me every time now. It's just, she always looks, she has this perfect confused look about like just not understanding whatsoever what's actually going on and how comedy works. And that in itself is a better comedy to me than the comedy spots that are being done to her. You know what I mean? I think she complements the comedy perfectly with her confusion.
Yeah, she's a good straight man, straight woman is what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Dave, is Kyoko Kotatsu your favourite wrestler?
No. And I don't have huge comments on this match other than the Inabas are really good.
Yeah. All right. So the main event, which was amazing, was Aya Sakura and Sayaka Karawa against Hanako and Waka Tsukiyama for the New Blood Tag Team titles. So Aya Sakura and Sayaka Karawa won, and this match was awesome. This was probably by far the best New Blood match that there's been, I think. I was going nuts during the last sequences. Sometimes a match just hooks you, and these guys definitely got me. It felt like every move was like 100 times more important than it actually was than in any of the other matches. And I think that's just because all four built this match really well as well going into it. They treated it like a big match. And then in the actual match, they laid their stuff in. There was a lot of crowd heat. Hanako was decapitating people with lariats. She was landing sick forearms. I was like, can I have this Hanako all the time? I've been a bit critical of her, but she was fucking incredible in this match. And then there was a Tokimeki spear from Sayaka Kurara into a German suplex onto Hanako from Sakura,
That
which
was so
fucking awesome. The whole crowd immediately burst into Sakura chants after that. And then Ai Sakura landed another German for the win, and I love this match.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I will say that the only knock on the match is I thought the first 3 minutes were not so hot with the R-Space stuff, as always with you know who. But once it got going, I thought it was amazing. And I thought, Kurura was great. As I say, with her, she's very good at her playing her role and timing her comebacks is really great. And I really enjoy. I like Hanako more than you. I do. I think she can just have.
I love her now.
But she can have these complete off days with. I think she's learning how to wrestle people of different sizes. I think there are certain people and styles she matches up well with, and she just hasn't learned quite how to click with. I don't know if it's enough match patterns or just body shapes or something. I think she'll get there. I'm mostly impressed with her work. And then for Aya, I picked this out earlier in the year when she's facing Chi and again in the Sendai Girls. I think she has a real flair for structuring without doing anything particularly different, like internal storytelling within her matches. I think she always creates a really compelling babyface heel dynamic without being particularly overly gesturative, if that's the word. Like you say, the crowd erupt in a huge chant for her. I think she just has a real flair for doing what when, which I really like. And also, because she completely whiffed on her corner kick, which was bad. But other than that, she does have this thing of she can show a good level of aggression, like kicking hard and placing her strikes well. But then she also does some stuff where she's she's trying to show, trying to suppress pain, but she also occasionally moves like someone who doesn't look like they've ever been in a fight before and is in danger, and is in legit danger, or like a spider's running. There was a spot where Hanako was running towards her and she dodged it, but she did it like a spider had come into the house and she was fleeing. Now, normally that would be bad, but she does it mixed in with all the credible stuff. Because she mixes it in with credible striking and storytelling and showing actual grit. I actually like that, oddly. So it's kind of a unique thing to her. As I say, I don't know if you up the card, you want to be doing the panicky type stuff. But I generally thought this was really, really good. And I look forward to the title reign continuing, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I can only agree with you two. I thought this was a really sweet match. I loved it. And I do really think Hanako is improving right before our eyes right now. I don't think it's fair anymore to put her in this really bad corner, I'd say. But did you, Dave, did you ever see the historic XOver match in China?
I haven't watched it. Yeah, I do intend to watch it. I haven't yet. I just haven't had time.
Okay. Yeah, I just thought that was also really good. Anyway, I also think them to just have amazing chemistry, Aya and Hanako, and I hope they just continue to feud for a long time. And I think Hanako's just really getting better at I think one thing that was always a detriment for her was just the mechanical stuff, almost how should I phrase this? Knowing really how to use her body, I guess, or use her strength. And I think she's really getting really good at just she had this one spot on the outside where she catched Aya, I think a flying knee from higher, and just catches it and turns it into this vertical suplex, which is a really difficult thing to do, I think, just mechanically, and looked hella impressive, and it looked so flawlessly the way she pulled it off here, that she's just getting better at these just work rate things. And as you guys said, Aya was good in this match. I thought Kurara was amazing, as she is every time, probably. And I loved it. It was just a really feel-good match for me. I really loved the finish too. The thing you mentioned, Eric, the spear into the German was so good. And
great
match.
Can I throw in one more comment?
Awesome match.
I know we're like massively overrunning, so I do appreciate that. But I did want to say, because Eric talked about last week, and he said something I 100% agree with, which was like comparing the Marigold and Stardom, like rookie class or young class, and I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Marigold's a lot way better. They're like, and they wrestle like super aggressively, super urgently, super fightery.
They're killing each other.
But the reason I want to talk about this in relation to this match is because I think it's somewhat a outcome of not only the talent, they're very talented, but also of what the promotions need. So I think Marigold's talent is resting that way because they need them to get up that card quicker and be significant people. I think a lot of Stardom talent, they're like, you're looking at a Rian or Rana or whoever, and you're kind of thinking in a year or two they could be, they're kind of equivalent to Aya and Saka, but I think there's like, we've got this clogged mid card, we're on a long journey. If we stumble across the next superstar, they can probably get jumped up, and I think maybe Kura could be that. But I think it's almost one of them's teaching them like a match style, like a basics, a kind of like not routine, but like the way of Stardom, and the other one is saying like, we need you to be doing something now, and I think that allows them to do different things. And I think the Marigold ones are much better, but I think it's also part of what they want. So like, I think Stardom's almost kind of chill if like it takes 2 years for someone to get to the kind of compelling status, or like if it, so I just wanted to make that point. So I thought it was I really enjoyed your discussion last week, and I thought that was, I just wanted to add that basically.
Mm-hmm. I can't argue against that. That makes complete sense to me. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I mean, we can just talk about them right now, right? You want to go to Marigold?
Oh, well, yeah, if you want to skip
did you want to skip those? Oh, right, the tag league. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, and then we
should talk about
the youngsters. So what's next for Stardom is they're going to go on a huge tour. The Goddess of what's the actual... Is it Goddess Tag League? I think is the actual name.
Goddess of... is it not Goddess of Stardom Tag League? Who knows?
Something like that. Yeah, so they're starting at Korakuen Hall on the 7th of November, and it goes through all the way to the 30th of November at Hamamatsu City in Shizuoka, where the finals will be held. And they announce the blocks, and we have full fixtures and full matchups. I won't go through all the team names because there's a lot. I guess some interesting ones. It's who you would expect, I guess, but some interesting ones are Mei Seira and Yuna Mizumori are teaming together. Akira Kurigani's teaming with Bazilla, but they already have been on house shows. Miku Kanai and Suri is in the tournament in the Red Goddess block. B. Priestley and Saya Aida. Anything else? Oh, and the interesting one is obviously Hanako and X. So who do you guys think X is?
Well, obviously the most hype pick would of course be Maika. The more realistic one is Cena. So I think it's either one of them. I think probably Cena. I don't think Maika is ready yet, but
can't spell Cena without an X.
All right, cool. I think an outside pick was Ichika Miyabi, the PPP Tokyo person who's been on New Blood shows and has had 2 matches with Hanako already. So that's just and they're 2 tall people. So if someone wasn't returning, that would obviously make sense, but who knows? And I guess Rina Yamashita is in the tournament with Suzu Suzuki, and Saya Kamitani is off the tour. So Okada basically said that it was more important that Saya goes into her 2 matches at Sumo Hall and Tokyo Dome in top condition, and that with Momo out, Hate had an odd number of wrestlers, so they decided to sit Saya out and just have Konami and Rina compete instead. So I guess other interesting notes are they're doing a double shot in Sapporo, Hokkaido on the 15th and 16th, and they're teaming up with Diana and Wave. So they'll be at the same venue, and Diana has a show on the 15th and Wave has a show on the 16th. So it's kind of cool that they're teaming up with independent promotions, and yeah, I love seeing that. The red block is way more stacked than the blue block, like to an absurd degree, to be honest. When I was going through these matches, I was like, okay, there are a lot of insane red matches. So that's the block with it's got the champions in it. It's got. But do they have a name, Saripoi? Is there like an official name they have?
Natsu and Saori spelled weirdly.
Yeah, okay. I think Natsu Saori or something.
Not sure.
So they've got the champions. They've got Natsupoi and Saori. They've got Mei Seira and Yuna Mizumori. Hina and Rana Yugami. Rihanna and Wakatsukiyama. Akira and Bazilla. FWC. And Miku Kanai and Suri. All in the same block. So that is insane. Yeah. The one date that looks kind of sick is Kyoto on my birthday, November the 28th.
Oh, yeah.
So you got Hanako and X versus Saki Kashima and Suri, and it's in Hanako's hometown. You've got Ai Sakura and Sayaka Kurara versus Izumi and Miyu Amasaki in Miyu Amasaki's hometown. You've got Konami and Rina versus Rin Yamashita and Suzu Suzuki. So, Suzu and Konami had a really underrated 5-star match. And, obviously Rina, double Rinas are both good. And then you've also got Miku Kanai and Suri versus Natsupoi and Saori Ano. So that show is probably the highlight if you're going to pick one show from the Goddess Tag League.
My most hyped matchup is Natsupoi and Suri versus Suri and Miku, right?
Yeah, the one at Kyoto. Yeah, that is probably my number one matchup as well, yeah. What about you, Dave? Do you have a pick for...
I've not looked at the matchup sets or the blocks, but the thing I'm most excited for, provided they don't spend the whole tournament doing the we can't get along so we don't have real matches thing, is I'm just really looking forward to Yuna and Mei being a team. I think that could be amazing.
Yeah.
So they're against Miku and Suri in Korakuen Hall on this Friday. So that'll be...
Oh,
that's awesome.
That's a banger because Yuna Mizumori has been trying to kill Suri because they just have some historical beef apparently. So Yuna always goes hard against Suri. So that's going to be a really fun matchup this Friday.
Yeah. And I think we do all agree that Aya Sakura and Sayaka Kurara are just going to run through this and then win the league.
In terms of winners, I think...
I kind of like it.
Yeah, maybe, to be honest. No, it's too obvious. I think O2 Line are going to go pretty far. Saori Poi are obviously going to go pretty far. I actually can't pick a winner, to be honest. I have no idea who's winning this.
I would have thought before the pay-per-view that Saori and Natsupoi have to be the vast favorites. Now I don't think so. Now I kind of feel like maybe, how about Suzu and Rina? Because what are they going to do on Dream Queendom instead?
But the problem with Rina and Suzu is Rina just challenged for the titles with Itsuki Aoki, right, on the last Korakuen Hall show.
Oh, that's kind of true.
So I don't think they're going to run it back.
Yeah.
It could be Miku and Suri.
That's also a possibility.
I just feel like Suri and Natsupoi are setting up for something on Dream Queendom. That's what I think.
I do think so as well. I think if they set up a Natsupoi Suri singles match on the Suriism show for Dream Queendom, that would be so fucking hype.
That's what I think is happening. So I think who else could go? Man, maybe it is just Mei and Yunomis Mori.
I don't think they'll win, but it would be fun.
No.
Or O2 Line. Yeah, just Izumi and Miyu Amasaki is probably my...
I suppose you probably want to reverse engineer it, right? Who makes good opponents for Ruaka and Tora? I'm not sure. Right. Well, I would have thought Suzu and Rina, but they're already
it's not. But it's not going to be Konami and Rina. It could be Hanako and X, depending on who X is.
If X is Maika, then them.
Yeah, and it also could be Saki Kashima and Suri. I mean, they could just be like a filler tag. Wait, do you think the winner has to go at Dream Queendom? Oh, it probably is, right?
Or Korakuen.
Probably.
If there is one.
But it would just be to give Suri something before the Tokyo Dome, so it kind of makes sense if they win it. Yeah, that's my pick. I'm going with Saki and Suri.
True.
It sounds like you're talking yourself into giving Sai Kamitani the tag belts as well. By getting them off Shuri in the build-up.
Oh my god, no. Okay, all right. Yeah. Should we move on to Marigold?
Let's do it.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Can I?
Should we do this quickly? So, yeah.
Oh no, I didn't want to. You can edit this out of the show if this is bad. During the show, did they announce during the Crimson Nightmare? Did they announce they're running the big arena in Osaka, or did I just misunderstand that?
No, they are. Yeah.
That's quite huge news, right? They've got to get like a second All-Star Queendom level thing going, right? Or is it All-Star Queendoms there?
No, you're right, because it is like 10,000 people, right? I actually didn't realise how big of a thing that is.
Because I saw that, I thought that'd be huge news, and no one was talking about it. I was like, oh, it must be the little building inside it. So it's the big one. So that's like they're doing
is the big one.
2 arena shows.
Which show did they announce it for?
Supreme Fighting, I feel like, or something.
It's called Supreme Fight in Osaka. They announced it on the pay-per-view.
All right.
Huh. Yeah, no, that's going to be
that.
Because that building's quite big, so they're probably going to do a massive card for that. To be honest, and that's 2 months before Queendom. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I guess I never thought. I mean, I registered it, but I just never thought. Wait, that's got 10,000 capacity.
Maybe Tam is coming back.
Yeah.
I was going to say that's the tune-up match for the town.
Yeah.
After the town return.
No, you're right. That was big news. All right. I am going to do this quickly. So on the 29th of October for Marigold, it was Lucha Fiesta. So it's just like the Halloween fun show. You don't have to watch it unless you really like seeing people in cosplay. I guess. So, for example, like my Sakurai was dressed as Darth Maida. So, I don't need to say who inspired that, do I? Yeah. So she used the power of the Force to like catch Chiaki, who was dressed as a wolf, and blah, blah, blah. So you get the point. The main event was Coco, Mayuchika, and Yuzuchika, is probably how it's pronounced. They beat Hummingbird, obviously in her normal gimmick, Ikemen Mask, who's Utami, and Rebi Gotchi, who is Chika Goto. So Coco is a 15-year-old with 2 years of experience. She's with the My Way promotion in Fukuoka. She was on the Fukuoka house show loop with Marigold already. I saw her for the first time in Seedling at the start of October. So by the end of October, she's in the main event of Marigold in Shinjuku Face. She's the star of the match, which she was in this main event.
She is, yeah.
Yeah, and she's now challenging Mayu Iwatani for the Superfly at Korakuen Hall.
They're going to sign her, right? She looked kind of impressive.
Everyone should sign her.
She is super athletic for her age. Like, she won with a 450 splash here. I think a 450 is insane for any 15-year-old to do, to be honest.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, she did a lot of really impressive stuff.
Yeah. What impressed me most about her was actually, I mean, obviously it's the flying, but like she's got an incredible like lightness and grace of movement. That's I don't mean lightness as in soft. It's like she just effortlessly springs, but in like a compelling, fightery way. It's amazing, remarkable for her age. Yeah.
Yeah, and only 2 years as well. Like, even if it was like a 27-year-old with 2 years of experience, I don't think you'd be expecting them to move this smoothly, maybe. Like, yeah, so anyway, she's obviously really good.
Yeah.
Any notes?
I got a couple of notes. Who was the dog?
The dog?
In the first match, I think.
The second match. That was Rhea Seto. So she came out.
Oh, I thought it was Rhea Seto. Yeah,
Riwawa Trickland was her name. So she was like a chihuahua. So she peed on Yuzuki's leg.
That was kind of weird.
Yeah, Minami stopped Riwawa during the match to hold her hand out and then do a roll and then gave her a treat. Yeah, all of that stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of strange. That's all I'm going to say about that one. Do you think, were you surprised that Hummingbird lost in the main event, given that she's the only wrestler who should be used to wrestling in a mask and have a distinct advantage over the others?
Well, the person who beat her was Coco, who is the other person who was just in her normal gimmick.
Oh,
she always wears
is
a
she
mask.
also in a mask? That was going to be my question, actually. Yeah, that makes sense then.
So she was also in a normal
That excuses Hummingbird, I guess.
You got any?
Yeah, no. Other than that, that's...
No, I just watched the main event and I enjoyed it. I'm not super into Chika Goto. I know you like her stuff more than me. My only other note was it was mostly Coco's great. This is really fun, and Chika Goto's really bad at jumping. But that was it.
I did think that was kind of funny though. Her bunny hopping because she had a bunny mask.
Yeah. When I say she's bad at jumping, her bunny jumping was good. It's the getting up for drop kicks that was in relation to. Her bunny jumping was really fun. Yeah.
No, I think she's a power wrestler. She should just do lariats and like what she did with Surya at Sumo Hall, right? I think she should just lean into that a bit more.
Absolutely.
All right. Then the next Marigold show, quickly, they just had a house show that aired today in Ibaraki. There's just a few notes that I have. So the first one was Rhea Seto and Yuka Yamazaki had a really good match. It was my match of the night. So I think Rhea is really progressing. She's turning into this like fucking submission sicko with like hard strikes and great suplexes.
She's really good, yeah.
She's getting really good. Thank fuck she's moving away from like choking people out with her belt and the dumb shit she was doing at the start of her heel turn. I need more of this Rhea, where she's like shoot headbutting Kazuna Tanaka on another show, and she was ripping off Tanaka's shoe to do ankle locks, and here she was trying to break Yuka Yamazaki's arm. Just really good stuff from both of them. Yuka's selling was, for a 5-month rookie, was pretty good as well. So just wanted to shout that out. Chika Goto and Shoko Koshino against Miko Ono and Nao Ishikawa. So Miko and Nao used to be a tag team in Ice Ribbon and Actress Girls. So they did their post together, and now was like, oh my god, you remembered after all this time. So, it was kind of cute. So the news is, Gotchka tried to challenge Miko Ono for the title, and Miku was like, what the fuck are you on about? You've just won one tag match against Nao Ishikawa. So Chika Goto is trying to shoot for a title match. They booked a standard singles match at Korakuen Hall on the 17th. I'm guessing it's going to get turned into a title match with some angle, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, it looks like Chika Goto's next in line, Dave, so...
Yeah, as I said, I don't like dislike or anything. I probably haven't seen the matches where she's proved. I guess I've just seen the ones I've seen before, and the Sari match was fun. Yeah. It's not a big thing. I don't really, she's fine.
The Sari match, and she also had a really good match with Chanyota during the Dreamstar, which you probably didn't see, but they were also beating the shit out of each other. She's just best when she's beating people up, I guess. Oh, she also had a good match with Mayu, but I mean, who doesn't in her hometown during the Dreamstar? So, and then in the main event, it was Darkness Revolution versus Mayu, Yuzuki, and Seiri Yamamoka. Match started same way every Darkness Revolution match starts, 5 minutes of crowd brawling. Yuzuki pinned Misa Matsui, which set up a tag title match for Korakuen Hall. And then Rhea Seto came out and said, hey, I drew with you in the Dreamstar, so I want a shot at your United National title. And this is a reminder, because Marigold won't remind you, Rhea Seto turned heel because she was sick and tired of Seri and Yuzuki bullying her. So that's why they had a really sick match in the Dreamstar as well, and this match is also going to be really good. So that means on the 13th, it's Yuzuki versus Rhea Seto for the United National, and then on the 17th at Korakuen Hall, Mayu versus Coco, Darkness Revolution defend against Yuzuki and Seiri Yamamoka, the Twin Stars, and maybe a world title match between Miku Aono and Chika Goto. And that's Marigold.
They're not gonna put the tag titles on Yuzuki too, right?
No.
You think?
Okay. Don't think so, no.
Just wonder, Seiri and Yuzuki?
I wonder if...
Yeah, Seiri can take a pin, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, but also I think maybe they'll build to a Yuzuki-Seri match. I could see them doing that. But it depends how much they want to push Seri.
Infighting, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, they could do that. TJPW. All right.
You want to do this quickly?
I don't want to do this at all. I just looked through it. So nothing really happened during the house show. So I just want to say they've got a Korakuen Hall show coming up. So that's the most important thing. There's 4 titles defended on that. Shoko Nakajima's defending her MLW title against Viva Van. Arisa Endo is defending her International Princess title against Uta Takami, which would be pretty good. So Uta Takami won the Next Gen tournament, and then that's how she got this title shot.
Oh,
so
okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. The Princess Tag Team titles, so that's Oberitz, Wakana, and Kamiyu. I wrote down Yukina Uehara from Actress Girls for some reason. No, it is Kamiyu against Himawari and Shina Suzuki. And then the Princess of Princess title is Miyu Watanabe defending against J-Rod. So J-Rod is a former OVW wrestler, and she is so American that it hurts my eyes. So she had like a starry red, white, and blue uniform. She's got the name J-Rod.
She looks and also sounds like what's that show called? Ultimate Warrior? No, not Ultimate
Warrior. No, Ninja Warrior or whatever. Yeah.
No, not Ninja Warrior. I mean the one with the gladiators.
Yeah.
American Gladiator.
Yeah, the one Wardlow was on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she wasn't on there, right?
She must be. So her nickname is the Ultimate Athlete, and her finisher is the Ultimate Spear. Sorry. Yeah, I need her to tone down the Americanness a bit.
I only saw an image of her like on social media, and it looked AI generated to me, honestly.
Exactly. She is like AI. Like you ask ChatGPT to spawn an American. That is yeah.
Can I throw in a few TJPW comments, because I don't normally watch, and I did watch this one. So
you did.
Yeah, I'll start with the.
Please talk about it.
I'll start with the negative and go to the positive. So I think. So the main event, I really didn't enjoy. It's kind of why I don't watch TJPW much. It was just too soft style for me and a bit too princess wrestling for me. I really didn't like it. Although there was I like the is it Kamifuki's her running corner dropkick I really love, because she jumps way too early it seems, but she's actually really long, so she actually destroys them with it, which I liked. And she does a great rocker dropper, but I really didn't care for that match.
What about the hair whips? So Himawari fucked Wakana up with the hair whip. She had fucking welts on her body.
Yeah, but not to praise WWE, but I do tend to prefer you do one. By the 50th one, I was kind of a bit over it. But it was.
Banker does it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It is cool. No, I did like that little battle, but I was just kind of like, yeah, do one or maybe do a little rampage. But I thought the kind of spot went on for a while. But anyway, I don't want to drag on the negative, because that just wasn't my thing. But the match before had like a lot of people I do enjoy. And,
hell yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it had some really good stuff. But the reason I want to talk about it is because Shoko's in it, and I watched all the CMLL. And what I was going to say earlier is that Hazuki was there, Kaguma was there, and Kanji were there from Rev Pro, and they all tried to do like serious either Western or Eastern style wrestling, respectively. But what they did to do that was they slowed down so slow so the CMLL people could keep up. They went so slow, painfully slow, and they still fucked it up anyway. And when I say they fucked it up, I mean anyone they were working with. It was so annoying. The one exception was Shoko, who I loved. She just went, fuck it, I'm just going to do all my stuff at the speed I do it, and you're going to get hit with it. And it was great. It actually worked out better, mainly because I think they just had to spend most of the time lying on the floor getting hit with moves. But I really appreciated that. So I've become more of a fan of her. But in this match, I enjoy Miyu's work, obviously. Both Yamashita and Watanabe are two of my favourites. So I enjoyed all their work. Yep. But there was one sequence where, like, everything Yamashita's doing is working and working well, and it's being pretty crisp, until there's a sequence where she has to start doing a kick combo on is it Haru and Yuki, and I don't know whether they got lost or they just forget they forget if they're selling or dodging, but it's kind of endearing. They're like trying to dodge and hesitating, and then nearly dodging and then stopping, and then one of them almost runs headfirst into a kick that I think that's meant to miss. But basically they make so many mistakes in such a silly way that when they then go on offense, I think they've completely threw Mio off. So they ended up having to like pull her into position for all her offense because she was just sitting facing the wrong way. I think she lied down for like a natural selection type move, so they had to like lift her up and then do it. So yeah, it was I ended up having fun with it for like the good wrestling and the botching. And I wanted to ask you, because I don't that is the gimmick of the company in a way. No offense. I did want to ask about is it Toga? I've not seen many of her matches.
Yeah.
Is it a spot of hers that she does like a ring length forward roll to then stand up and then do a front flip senton? Because I thought it looked ridiculous.
It's meant to be the Rolling Thunder from RVD.
Oh, mate, it is the Rolling Thunder, but it just looks so weird. Maybe it's just
maybe the Rolling Thunder looks weird, but she's like she loves her 90s wrestlers.
Yeah,
she also does a rock bottom. So
fair enough. Yeah. And you know what it is, Rob jumps really high in the air, so for her it's more like she was just covering so much distance to miss. Anyway, of course that's the Rolling Thunder. It just looks weird when someone else does it. Okay.
No, I would much prefer, like, there was one, like, a Wrestle Princess a few weeks ago. She started, like, smacking the hell out of Hiroyu Matsumoto, and it just stood out because, you know, TJPW isn't, like, known for its stiff strikes. So I would much rather she lean into that because I think she can stand out on the roster doing that stuff rather than the 90s tribute move. So
yeah, and I did enjoy this match, so I want to say that because I was mean about the main event, so I did want to say I did.
Yeah, I think this match is pretty good. And there's a reason why Miyu Yamashita is working with people lower down on the card, right? It's literally like her role right now is to like train the lower card down and try to elevate them. So that's the main thing she's doing as the leader of TJPW, as her title is.
She's someone I wish could have a trade. I know it's not how it works, but like, I'd love her to, if she could have 3 months in Stardom, 3 months in Marigold, 3 months in AW.
Oh, for sure. She's really good. She's amazing. Yeah. Anything else, Dave?
No, that's it. Sorry. It's meant to be going faster. I'm not understanding this concept.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Well, we're now at the indie zone, so we're not far off. Yeah, and to be honest, it's a short indie zone. So the longest part of the indie zone is probably what we're going to be talking about next, which is Sendai Girls. Mm-hmm. Dave, did you watch any of this?
Yeah, I watched the top 2 matches.
Okay, perfect. So I'll just really quickly through the bottom 2. So in the opener, so this was on the 26th of October at Shinkiba, so you can watch it on Wrestle Universe. So in the opener, Yuna, who's the Sendai Girls Junior World Champion, she faced Yura Suzuki, who's back with a new haircut. It went to a time limit draw. I think Yura is more ready for the championship than Yuna, but we'll see where that goes. The second match, or maybe third match, because I think I skipped the Sakura Hirota match. Yeah, this was the third match. So Ryo Mizunami and Yurika Oka against Spike Nishimura and Zonez. Zonez was quite over. It's kind of funny. I wrote down that her having the Evo Championship is working, and then she lost it on the GLEAT show yesterday. So that was amazing. Yeah, fuck GLEAT.
What an amazing attendance at GLEAT, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Not to be a dickhead, but there was such great pictures that Frankie was putting.
I mean, why are they swapping a title that's not... Michiko, who she lost it to, has never been on an Evo show. So Evo and GLEAT are feuding. It was just a really weird title swap. Anyway, I love Yurika Oka. I just wanted to say that. She was great in this match. Now...
I got a question for you.
Hit me.
If you were to book a promotion and you had like a big tournament final for your junior title...
Yeah.
would you have like your junior heavyweight champion not be able to get over a draw and have the finalist that's probably going to win the tournament getting pinned in the next match?
No.
Okay,
Yeah, wait,
just
Spike got pinned here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Spike lost to Ryu Mizunami's spear. Yeah, I know. And literally on the Korakuen on the 16th, which is a stacked card. So obviously Spike's going for the Jaja Uma final, and we don't know what Yuna's doing, but definitely weird. I mean, they're not making Yuna look very strong. I will say that.
No.
Well, because she isn't, but anyway.
I also wanted to... let's...
No, what do you
like
want to say?
Suzuki's gear.
You didn't like it?
I don't like when wrestlers have like half jackets. That's kind of irritating to me to watch.
Oh, yeah, because half her gear is like normal gear, like shoot gear almost, and then the other half is like a robe, right? Like a Mike Satomura robe, yeah.
It's kind of distracting to me, and it can be like it's got to be annoying while wrestling, right?
It is
to
weird,
have like one long sleeve and one. I don't know. I don't like that look. I think who had it in TJPW? Was it Mocha?
That sounds about
for
right.
a while. She has better gear now, but she also used to have like that half jacket style. I don't like it. Anyway, that was my gear comment for this.
Does everything looking about her suck?
No.
Okay, good.
Just her one long sleeve weird ass thing. I don't know.
Right, it's the semi-main event. This match was great. I loved this semi-main event. It was Dash Chisako and Veni against Red Energy, which is Mika Iwata and Miyuka Takase. Have I ever said that Veni is my favorite wrestler? I have a lot of favorites, but I would defend Veni's honor to the death. She's like my number one. She's fucking awesome.
If you on Friday, if you say to Willow that she's your favorite, I'm going to tell her that you're lying to her. So just to let you know.
No, I can't cheat on Veni. She was awesome in this match as well. What do you guys think? Dave,
you want to go first, Dave?
Oh, okay, yeah. I just thought, brutally hard hitting match, like amazing strikes. And in fact, I thought like there was a few bits where things did go wrong, and I like that their default, if something gets messed, just like hit Veni really hard in the chest. It's like
exactly.
It's great. I will say I want down note on Veni because I think she's amazing. She's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
No way.
Yeah, she's great.
Where is this going?
When things go not like what I just described, striking exchanges, when like spots go wrong, and there was one that went a bit wrong, she does properly do the face of, oh, that was a mess, and I'm not happy about it. It's only a minor thing, but it's like it's kind of fun as well. She does very funny expressions, but it's sort of like, as the audience member, it does completely let you know if you're not quite sure that was what was meant to happen. She's pretty much telling you, yeah, we fucked that right out. But generally, this was great. My only problem with it was that it was like so brutal and like non-stop that it almost became exhausting. But that was in itself a quality. It's like the Stalin quantity is a quality of its own. It's like it was so intense and kept going and going that even though I was kind of getting tired, that was good because it was like the match was hitting me. So I liked it.
I thought it was going to end around 14 minutes or something. What was the time limit draw? I don't know if it was 20 or 15.
20.
Whatever. I thought it was going to end like 75% of the way it actually did end. So yeah, I feel you on that. Oh, you got anything more?
Me, I have one. I've one silly point, which is I don't know if you noticed this. Maybe it's because I was listening on headphones, but the audio. Obviously, I love this promotion, but one thing I don't like about it is the crowd most of the time. But this one, because it is quite quiet, there was one guy standing right next to the camera, and I felt like he was my best friend because I was hearing his opinion, even though I don't speak Japanese, on every single spot and move and his reactions. And like, but he was quite conversational. He clearly had a buddy next to him, so it was a very weird experience to see such like a hot, intense match, and I'm experiencing it with one random guy who happens to be next to the camera. So
Tim.
No? Okay. No, I gotta agree. It was an amazing match. Just hard hitting action the entire time through. I kind of was hoping there was gonna be a winner. We already had a draw in the first match, but I guess 2 draws are fine as well. The action was insane. Mika Iwata's abs gotta be made of steel. She ate like 3 top rope stomps from Dash Chisako in a row. And then managed to dodge the frog splash. At that point, I thought it was over. They're just going to pin Mika Iwata again, and that's done. But she managed to dodge the frog splash, which was cool. And then just kicked the shit out of Dash in return. for the couple of foot stomps. So, not just excellent match, excellent action. Great.
Yeah, so
Don't.
I thought there was one really, really cool spot where like Iwata was going for her off the turnbuckle kick, and then Veni interrupts her, and then Chisako Germaned her off the middle rope, and then Veni missile drop kicked Iwata, and then Chisako Germaned Iwata again, and then she landed a diving double foot stomp, and so that was awesome. But it was kind of funny that didn't put Iwata away. To be honest, that was was insane.
For sure.
Takase had some. She always does. She has some great lariats. She took fucking Veni's head off.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
at one point.
That fucking lariat was so
her
good.
lariats are amazing. They make so much sound. There was a few minutes of trading near falls and cradles and stuff as they were going to. It was clearly going to a time limit draw at that point, but it had a lot of heat. And then Iwata hit the Ryon for the time limit. So this is by the way a random VOD show like in the semi-main event. So Sendai Girls just does that sometimes.
Yeah.
Cool. And then in the main event, which I don't want to talk too much about, it had a lot of comedy. It was Team 200 kg, which is Hashimoto and Yu versus Emi Sakura and Mei Suruga. I guess the funniest part of this match was, wait, have you guys heard the term wrestle fuck? Like in MMA?
Oh, yes.
So it was like a pop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like when one person's a really dominant wrestler, like Khabib back in the day or whatever. So like Hashimoto was doing that to Emi Sakura, and Sakura just started fucking screaming her head off. In like total fear, and then she just tagged Mei out. That even like Hashimoto was corpsing. So that was by far the best moment of this. Like, it was literally like a horror movie yelp. Like, get this person off me. So yeah, fun match. Not your usual Team 200 kg main event. I guess it was. If you want a work rate match, then the semi main is it. Anything else?
Right. You have anything?
No,
Dave?
I agree. I just thought it was kind of chaotic and fun, but not, quite throwaway in a way.
It was fun.
And I really liked the post match. I thought Mei was kind of adorable with getting scared of being screamed at, but then they let her do the big pose with the music at the end, and I thought that was cute. So, like a nice happy ending to a tour show, right? So, fun.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
Go on, Tim.
This was the last match I watched before we recorded. I literally had it still running when you entered the Discord call, and I managed to not remember anything since then.
Awesome.
So it wasn't the most memorable match to me. Yeah. I do remember the Mei Suruga rope walk into Hurricane Rana. That looked really good. But other than that, it's kind of a forgettable, fun but forgettable match, I guess.
I don't think I'm going to forget that Emi Sakura yelp though. That was funny.
Okay. I may have skipped over that. I skipped a bit around this match to make it in time. Yeah.
The main news coming out of Sendai Girls is their card for Hashimoto's 10th anniversary on the 16th of November. There's only 4 matches, and it's looking fucking disgusting. Like, real good. So they got the Jarjo Uma finals, which is Spike Nishimura against Senka Akatsuki. That's going to be great. They have a tag match, which is Ai Sakura and Natsupoi versus Bob Momo Banana, so Miyamono and Yurika Oka. That's going to fuck. And then they've got Red Energy, Mika Iwata and Miyuki Takahashi against Takumi Iroha and Veni. Okay. And then the main event will be Chihiro Hashimoto versus Suri in a singles match. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do when I watch this show. I'm going to be in heaven.
Gonna be insane.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's move on to Marvelous quickly. So they had a house show. Well, they had 2 house shows, but one of them didn't make tape. So on the 2nd of November in Oyama, you can watch it on Zyko pay-per-view. You shouldn't, because it was just a house show. So you can watch it on Wrestle Universe in 3 to 4 weeks. The main event, I guess, is the most notable thing, is Ai Huzan and Sura Ayame versus Senka Akatsuki and Takumi Iroha. So the storyline here is obviously Ai and Sora are jealous of Senka, so they were just continuing that storyline. They were both like, what the fuck? Why can Senka jump the queue? And obviously Senka just failed challenging Takumi Iroha. So this match was super fun. It made me happy. I don't know if you guys have seen the picture, but there were some famous quote unquote pictures of Sora where her chest is bloodied up and fucked up. It was like from earlier in the year. Have you guys seen that?
I don't think I saw
Okay,
that.
well, it's like a super bloody chest. That was from Takumi chopping the fuck out of her on the 6th of April. So they were in the same arena. So they did a callback to that, and Takumi chopped the shit out of Sora again, and then gave her a giant swing, which I thought was hilarious. The whole crowd went crazy. And then I thought this show was worth the £20 when Takumi tagged Senka in, and then Senka did the big swing on Sora Yame, and then she like sold being dizzy and then fell on top of Sora for a pin. It was fucking awesome. And it was also like a callback to Lioness Asuka as well. So there you go. There's Senka's 6th move of doom, a giant swing. So we're really getting there with Senka. You know, she's added a frog splash and a giant swing in a few weeks. So there you go. Awesome. There was a shoot headbutt from Ai Huzen, which I wasn't expecting. Like, she's had enough of the golden child Senka. And so Senka won by going for a frog splash on Sora and hit it perfectly. So Senka wins again. The only other news is they debuted a new European wrestler called Amale, who's a French wrestler.
Oh, yeah, from NXT.
She made her debut. Oh, was she in NXT?
Yeah, briefly. She was one of those people I thought was quite interesting, and then she just seemed to disappear, but probably went back to Europe. But yeah, I was surprised to hear her name. I haven't heard it in a long time.
Oh, I didn't, because I looked at her profile. I just must have looked over the WWE stuff because she's been in Europe a lot for the past year or whatever. But yeah, so she made her debut against Nightshade, who we recently saw align herself with Marvelous. So I saw that she only does like 20 matches a year in Europe. So that's normally like a month for most Japanese wrestlers on the indies. So she doesn't get a lot of reps. So maybe she has like another job or something. Yeah, this match wasn't great. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that she debuted. And then the other wrestler that made a debut was Achika Miyabi, who we mentioned earlier, the PPP Tokyo person who's been on Stardom New Blood shows. And that was it for Marvelous. Awesome. Okay, so I just want to quickly mention about Seedling. So, because you guys were laughing, because in the notes for the agenda, I said that this show didn't make tape yet, but I want to talk about the concept of a show. So that's what I'm going to do. So when this goes out, you'll be able to see it on seedling.com. So this show is really interesting for Seedling. So it's a new series that are focusing on their youngsters. It's held at Diana's home venue, which is Post the Amistad, and it mirrors Diana's own series focusing on the youngsters, which is called Future Sight. So I think it's really interesting because they're both based in Kawasaki, in Kanagawa, and it feels like they've started working a bit more with each other in recent months. You'd think they'd always be on each other's shows, considering they're in the same city, but they really weren't. So Seed launching their own Diana Future spin-off using Diana's arena with some Diana talent, I think it's indicating that Seed are trying to invest in their youngsters a bit more and trying to get back to the top of the indie scene. So I just really like that development, I guess. Also, interestingly, is Ice Ribbon are getting their talent out there as well. So Ibuki Hoshi, Minami Katsu, and Kaho Matsushita, they haven't really been booked on other promotions at all, like all year. And Kaho was on this show. So, you know, the indies are sort of like grouping together a bit more again. So makes my heart warm. And that's what I wanted to say on that, because it didn't make tape yet. Then
awesome.
Ice Ribbon. So there's just some news coming out of this. So this was a pay-per-view at Tokyo Square. The pay-per-views normally bridge between the Korakuens and the dojo shows. Then it's not like AEW where the pay-per-views are the flagship product. The flagship product is probably the Korakuen Halls. But this pay-per-view was about moving the Karari Wakana storyline forward, which is their rookie. She faced Totoro Satsuki in a number 1 contenders match. She had new gear even. The match was really whatever, just because I'm not into Totoro's work. But Karari became the next contender. So she won with a really cool new pin where she like does a spinning head scissors, but instead of holding on, she like turns it into a cradle. It's kind of cool. So she, after the match, Karari, again, who is a rookie, took the mic and demanded Minami Katsu to get into the ring, pointing inside the ring. So like Karari is starting to pick up an attitude on the mic, which is super cool. And they agreed a time and a place for the title match. And after they agreed it, she just said to Katsu, yeah, okay, thanks, get out now so I can close the show. So really liking where Karari Wakana is going with. So I wasn't really into her a few months ago, and in the past few months she's like developed a lot. So that will take place on the 24th of November at Yokohama Radiant Hall.
That's awesome. I like that she won.
Yes, it's awesome.
I remember you being very like what's the Totoro?
Yeah, on Totoro, yeah.
You really didn't want to.
I'm so happy that Karari won. Yeah.
That.
Fuck yeah, I can't take another Totoro match. Yeah, okay. the other note from the show is there was some Diana talent on it. So Haruka Umisaki, their champion, and Moran were on the show, and they had a rare chance to interact with Minami Katsu, the champion, in a tag match. It was the first time ever that Moran had interacted with Minami Katsu, and so I just really enjoyed it.
I wanted to watch that. Fuck.
Yeah. I can probably link it to you if you want to. It was also, okay. I mean, the match was okay. It wasn't like an insane match, but I just liked them interacting. It was also Umisaki's first time interacting with Katsu since 2020, and the second time ever. So yeah, it was just cool. So Katsu and Umisaki are known for having like stiff forearms on the independent scene. So they had a forearm battle. So and it was really good. So yeah. Yeah, and then the only other thing is Princess Pistachio made her debut in Ice Ribbon. So she is, if you believe this, Taiwan's first female wrestler. So she debuted in 2022. So that was the so it's been a recent development in Taiwan that they've actually had women's wrestlers. And obviously we've spoken a lot about Shan in Diana, who's a really good rookie. So it's kind of cool that Pistachio sort of opened up the door for people like Shan only 2 years after her debut. That is kind of what,
awesome.
You know, if this was a Hall of Fame, that's like historical significance right there, you know, opening up a whole scene in your country. So that's really cool. So it was cool that she debuted. That's all I wanted to mention there. Then finally, we're at the end of the Indie Zone, Actress Girls. So they had a show on the 31st of October at Shinkiba. You can watch it at actressgirls.net, girls with a Z, because they're cool, and yeah, they do it like that. This, the only newsworthy stuff is, this was Mi's graduation, so she was a 2018 trainee. Her last show was December last year. She got ill a few years ago, which I think from translations is like anxiety related, so it makes it difficult for her to step into the ring. She realized she wouldn't be able to do it anymore, and she wasn't going to do a graduation. She was going to step away quietly until Tai Honma talked her into it, who was recently, well, is now retired. She retired on the 13th of October, so that's kind of cute. So they just had a tag match with Mi's closest friends, Rina Amikura, Iona Iri, and Sakura Mizushima. It was a really fun main event. There was a cute graduation ceremony at the end with like ribbons raining down. So if graduations are your thing, then that was really cool to see. Elsewhere, Chi Aoba got the courage to challenge for a title. So she teamed with Maori against Maru and Marino, who are both champions. So Maru is the King champion and Marino Sahara is the Actress Girls champion. So Chi Aoba lost to Maru, who used weapons. So Chi was like, oh, you know, why are you using weapons, blah, blah, blah. Maru basically brushed off the challenge. So I guess Chi has to wait another day. But it's awesome news because Chi is finally out of the opener and she's where she belongs, higher up the card and asking about title shots. And Nagisa Shiitsuki faced her partner Natsuki in a tag match, but she lost. But she also said she wants to go after a singles belt. After she goes after the singles belt, she did say she wanted to go after the interim tag belts as well.
Okay. Since you mentioned it, I think I promised our listeners a review of the Taiyanma retirement show last week. I think due to being a bit over time, we got to postpone this to next week. I really got to apologize to our viewers once again. No, never mind. I do wish the best for me. That sounds like a struggle. And yeah.
I thought you were saying...
Yeah, I didn't mean to laugh over the sincere bit. I thought you were thanking yourself for making a good joke. Sorry.
Exactly. I was like... Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
No, I mean the wrestler who had to retire due to her struggles with mental health.
Yeah, I like wrestlers talking about it as well. So
yeah,
and it's kind of amazing because like the really interesting one to think about is that people forget that he's obviously such a mainstay now and like a main eventer in Japan, but like Gabe Kidd was nearly completely out of wrestling due to mental health concerns, and now he's superstar. So it's probably better for her if she doesn't want to wrestle. That's fine, but yeah, it can go both ways. So yeah, it's always interesting to hear those stories.
I mean, anxiety performance is a real thing in like the entertainment industry. So do you guys watch SNL?
Yeah, some clips like TikTok.
Yeah, well, you know about it. So there was a guy called Bill Hader on it, and he's like famous for having like anxiety issues.
Oh, I know Bill Hader.
Yeah, where he would like throw up and before sketches and stuff like that, and he just did it for like I don't know, like 10 years, just powering through it. And the reason he doesn't appear much on the show anymore is because he still has those anxiety issues. So the fact he did it for so long is just mind blowing to me. So yeah. Must be tough.
I just want to say as well, because it's funny because Tim came in with sorry, I know you're talking about a serious topic, but Tim came in with an apology, and I was also waiting for Eric's Indie Zone to end in a nice way, so I could come in with an apology because I was thinking the whole time, me adding to the show has added at least an hour, and there's some poor guy who you mentioned at the top who's waiting for his retro review just for him, my God, and that was 3 hours and 40 minutes ago.
That's true. I mentioned it. Yeah.
So
I was gonna say maybe we have to postpone this to next week, honestly. But what do you think, Eric?
It depends how quickly I can go through it. That's my classic. That's my classic tagline, right? I'm going to go through this quick, and then I spend 20 minutes.
I mean, to be quite honest, we're so deep in what
we have to commit.
Does 5 more minutes really matter at
exactly.
this point?
Put a timestamp with just his name.
When do you?
That would actually be fun.
3 hours 41.
Yeah, we probably should do that. Yeah. All right, quick previews. Okay, so on the 5th of November, it's Evo's number 40 show at Shinkiba. You can watch it on evolutionofficialfc.com. Yeah, so it's Chika and Yuna Manase versus Soy and Zones. What did Gleet do to Zones? She's no longer the champion, so I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if it was like a way to move the title onto Chi-Chi without having Chi-Chi and Zones interact. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but that really upset me. Kaori Yonyama versus Miku Kanai versus Momoka Hanazono. I mean, you already know what that match is going to be. And then it will be Chi-Chi versus Yu in the main event, I believe. So you can look forward to that.
Oh, that's yeah. Chi-Chi wanted that match really bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it is. Chi-Chi debuted against Yu, I'm pretty sure, and that's why she wants this match. Yeah. Then on the 9th of November, we have Oz Academy, who are back at Shinjuku Face. So that Shinjuku Face are like their canon shows, and everything else, like all of the house shows, aren't really canon. So they're back with a canon show after their huge show at Yokohama Budokan. So Itsuki Aoki versus Rina Amikura, sounds cool. Ryo Mizunami versus Tsubasa Kuragaki. Akino, Kaho Kobayashi, Kakeru Sakaguchi, and Sonoko Kato, who's retiring in November, against Kahako, Misa Kagura, Momoka Hanazono, and Ram Kaichao. Okay, that's going to be fun. Jaguar Yokota versus Kaori Yonyama and Unagi Sayaka. Okay. And then in the main event, it's Goji Zone's Union, which is Hiroyu, Matsumoto, Rina Yamashita, and Zonez, against Sekigun, which is Mayumi Ozaki, Saori Ano, and Yumi Oka. So we'll see what happens there and what storylines they go to next. Just a reminder, at the last big show, Sekigun were all like happy. They just defeated Hates. They all, kissed and hugged at the end of the show and said, we're going to be the best heels in the business, basically. So we'll see where they go now. The title is on Saori Ano, and she does need to get it back from Waka, who stole the belt. So there will be a singles match at some point. All right, the next,
Raka.
Yeah, with Raka. I know, fuck me.
Awesome. Maybe for the red belt too then.
Oh my god! There's no way. Can you imagine Saori wins the red belt and then they do like a winner takes all with Raka at Eddie Arena, a sucker number 1 in front of 10,000 fans?
When we used to be in contact with him, didn't Sonny used to tell us that Raka is one of those people who's sneakily popular for merch or something?
Okay, there's no way he said. So I wasn't around the Sonny era of the board. Did he actually say that?
I have some vague memory, or maybe he was just saying there were some like signs of her becoming popular.
That she's popular with the crowd.
Oh, is it just the crowd? Okay, yeah.
But even, is that true?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I remember that. I was asking.
I just have some vague memory of somebody trying to convince me that she had like a insider swell of business.
I trust Dave on this because that is a Sonny thing to say, right? So I believe you, Dave.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I don't doubt
that.
I don't even care if it's fake news.
Yeah, it probably is fake news. It's a memory from like 4 years ago.
It's true. Yeah, that is what happened.
Sounds so unbelievable.
Yeah. But I mean, he's also said a lot of crazy shit, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, about Starlight Kid. Yeah, that fucker. On the 10th of November, Surreism. It's back after a long break. Since I think July was the last one. You can watch it on surrelive.com with 3 E's, surrelive.com. The card is up my street.
Amazing.
Yeah. Go on. What were you going to say, Tom?
4.
For what?
4 E's.
Oh, 4 E's?
Go on. No, live has an E as well. Just fucking around.
You can tell we're losing our fucking minds.
Yeah, my brain is fried. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
That was really sharp.
Right, so the card is really... Yeah, the card's really good. Celine Mizora, who is Seed's rookie, who they're fucking putting everywhere. So I think they kind of believe in her, and I do think she looks better than Yuki Funa, who's the other rookie. But this is still like her 8th match or something, so she's super early into her career. But she does look good. She had an amazing match with Vani. Well, I loved it. So Celine Mizora versus Yurika Oka. Akira Kurigani and Rana Yugami against Chi-Chi and Miku Kanai. Bazilla and Kaoru Ito against Nightshade and Veni. I don't know what's going to happen between Bazilla and Veni. Yeah, there's going to be...
I was thinking Bazilla and Nightshade.
Oh, and Bazilla, yeah, well, I mean, the ring might break. Yeah. And then in the main event, which is just an all-star main event, Chihiro Hashimoto and Natsupoi versus Suri and Suzu Suzuki. Boy.
So good, man.
And you just know Suzu is going to go fucking full speed. Like, she is not going to fuck about in that match. Yeah. Wait, has Suzu ever interacted with Hashimoto?
Ooh, good question.
I don't think they have. If they have, I
couldn't
don't remember
remember
memory
anything.
of it. But yeah, that's probably going to be
That's
sick.
got a rule. Yeah.
Cool.
Can't wait for this one.
Yeah, I'm for sure buying it. And then also on the same day, 10th of November, Prominence, which is Risa Sera's promotion. I'll just mention that she's against Hazuki and then also against Itsuki Aoki on the same show. So some shenanigans there.
Ooh.
You can watch that
great,
on
actually.
TB3_official on YouTube, but you need a subscription probably for the Prominence matches. And they also have a bunch of other promotions on there. But yeah, it's like £4 a month. And then finally, I'm going to Eve. Are you going to Eve, Dave?
That is the plan. I have tickets. I have a lot of law work to do, but I need to do something fun, so I am planning to.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just mention the Willow Nightingale versus Lucy Sky. So I'm looking forward to seeing Willow Nightingale. Chris Statlander is also on the card. Anita Vaughn versus Chris Statlander versus you in a freeway.
That'll be very good.
And then Nyla Rose versus Rio for the Eve champion, the World Eve title, whatever they're calling it. So yeah, it looks like a fun card, and I can't wait. So we'll be there live. All right, match of the week. You go first, Tim.
Well, I wasn't home for most of the week. The question is between Saya Kamitani and Starlight Kid, to me, I guess. And fuck it, let's give it to Starlight Kid, I think.
Hell yeah. Dave?
Well, I was kind of excluding all the ones we talked about. So my match of the week, it probably is one of those two main events, thinking about it. But my match of the week is probably Yota Tsuji versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. I really love that match. Or if people want to shout out for something different they might not hear about on this show, the CMLL Day of the Dead show should have been great. It was an absolute disaster. Everything went wrong. But the second match on the card, where normally nothing happens, was amazing. Captain Suicida, Magia Blanca, Hijo del Pantera, that babyface team just went crazy. And the heels were good too. Cobrade, Okamura, Espanto Jr. So yeah, because I knew that wouldn't get recommended on here normally, so I'd shout that one out.
Should I watch it?
I mean, it's not like literally must see. It's more just like I was on this big card, 16,000 people.
You're not expecting
these guys are going mental early on. I was like, this is going to be one of the best cards of all time. I even pre-wrote a headline in my little CMLL review, must see Day of the Dead. So it's like everything else is going to be great. This is the match that's not going to be great. And then everything else was a disaster. Yeah, so except the main event. The main event was fine. But yeah, so I wanted to shout that one out just because when does Captain Suicida get a shout out?
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, to your point, I think this segment is originally thought to be a chance to shout out matches that we didn't cover from the promotions. But I literally just hadn't seen any other wrestling this week than the ones we talked about. And that's often the case for me, honestly. So that's just why it happens a lot. To me, specifically, the match of the week is going to be just something we already talked about. But that's life.
So my match of the week is Keisei Takechi and Konosuke Takeshita versus Kazusada Higuchi and Takeshi Masada in the semi-main event of Ultimate Party, DDT's big show of the year at Sumo Hall. I think they had like over 5,000 people. It was like a big Sumo Hall show. This tag match was everything I want in a tag match. The past of DDT against the future of DDT. It reignited Takeshita and Higuchi's rivalry. It started a new one between Masada and Takechi. So Takechi is a pop star. He's a superstar, J-pop superstar in the group The Rampage. Like they've done like Tokyo Dome and stuff like that. Huge fan base. So like when he does a Korakuen Hall, it sells out. This is his 7th match ever, and he is so athletic, and it's just really impressive. And it was just super cool to see him against Masada, who's been there for like 3 years. He's like the next ace in waiting. So that they started this feud here was super cool. This will end up being one of my favorite matches of the year. It was like an AEW style, like 5-star tag team match, but DDT style. Mm-hmm. So it was just perfect for me. I think it might even end up in my top 5 in the year. I'm a bit sad that I'm the high man on it. I haven't seen people go as crazy for it. I don't want to be seen as a crazy guy, but I absolutely adore this match. It probably will be my
It's
top
better
5.
when people do that. I love that. I love like movie reviews where someone gives like a 7 out of 10 movie a 10 and has like a deep theory of I'm not saying you've got a deep theory of why you love it, but I really enjoy when people just like, I like this thing, so I'm gonna stick by and explain why I do. So I'm here for that.
It was just perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was like the match was for me. So yeah, one of my favorite
That
matches.
sounds great. Maybe I should check it out. Yeah.
If you're gonna watch one of those, definitely watch this because it felt like Takeshita produced this match. To be honest, it was so AEW coded.
Yeah, I'm behind on so much stuff, man. I haven't watched any of the New Japan show either.
Yeah.
So I will see.
Yeah. And then just a quick runner-up. My runner-up was Jackie Rita versus D-Courage and Dragon Gate. They won the Dragon Gate tag titles, and it was also a very good match. All right, listener recommendations. Okay, so
Last thing.
Yeah, DK1105 on the Val Discord. He also says he goes by John. It's in his name. He recommended me, or they recommended me a recommendation for Manami Katsu because I talk about Manami Katsu so much. So they recommended against Yumiko Hotta on a Pure J show. I think it was Pure J's first ever show at Korakuen Hall. And then they also recommended Manami Katsu versus Masaki Ohata for Ohata's Wave title on 17th of December 2017 in Korakuen Hall for Pure J as well. So these matches made me very happy and also sad at the same time because I'm sad that Manami Katsu is now wrestling in front of empty buildings. She's too fucking good for that. And I'm happy because it felt validating because I love Katsu just based on her current Ice Ribbon work. So to see that she had performances like this in the past made me feel like, okay, yeah, I did notice that she's special. So I liked it for that. The Yumiko Hotta match was fucking sick. To be honest, it was by far my favorite of the two. They had blood, double blade jobs, whatever. Katsu was in a completely different light to how you see her now. She was so cocky and confident against the vet. This was a year after she came back from a break and continued in Pure J. It was only 11 minutes. It was brutal. It was violent. Katsu's flipping Yumiko Hotta off. There's chair shots to the head. That's when Katsu does the blade job. They're smashing, Katsu's bloodied head on the east sign in Korakuen Hall. It's just one of those classic Korakuen Hall brawls with blood. So, and Katsu's like trying to fight back, trying to cave in Hotta's chest with forearms while blood's dripping down her face. I just fucking loved this match. It was so good. So thank you for that. The second match against Ohata. So I had no... Have you guys heard of Masaki Ohata?
I have heard of her name, yeah.
Rings a bell, but
Dave,
what's the spelling of the surname? I was a bit late for this.
Ohata. Ohata.
I think what? It's one of those ones where I think I do, but it's through video games, not through. It's through the total extreme wrestling.
Yeah.
So it doesn't count.
Yeah. So I had no exposure to her whatsoever because I missed the entire 2010s of Joshi, apart from like some Kana matches, Io Shirai and Mayu. I just never heard of her, and this was like a year before her retirement, and she was like one of the top stars in Wave throughout the 2010s. So it's just kind of interesting how some people are just completely lost to time. Like, she's got barely any comments on websites like Cage Match, but she worked in Wave for 10 years. So it kind of goes to show like how little footprint these promotions have when there were such good workers in there. And, I guess that's one of the goals of these 4-hour weekly podcasts, to put a spotlight on these promotions because it's 2025 and they're easily accessible. So hopefully we can get these people's names out there a bit more. So I don't know if John recommended this on purpose, but it contrasted with the previous match. This was a lot more technical. So I love when the recommendations are kind of different like that, because then I can see Katsu in two different styles. It was the first ever match, like I said, I've seen of Ohata, but I could already see she was a great wrestler. It was like the little details, like pulling out Katsu's feathers in her boots or whatever while she has her in a hold. It's like getting stuck on the ropes and not just forcing yourself over, waiting for Katsu to pull you over. Stuff like holding the turnbuckle so you can't get tiger suplexed off the top rope. So those small things, I could see that Ohata was a great wrestler. Apparently our listener knows me very well because there were some awesome German suplexes in this match. I'm kind of like Takeshita. If I went to uni and studied sports science, I would definitely be doing my thesis on the German suplex because I love that. And yeah, I think the one thing I noticed that Katsu doesn't do as much anymore is the backhand fist. So I wish she does that more. It was so good in this match. It was a bit too. It's probably a bit too brutal for Ice Ribbon, which is like Ice Ribbon's like the TJPW of the indie scene. So maybe she can't just double back fist one of the kids, one of the 11-year-olds or whatever. So a really good match. And we're done.
Awesome. I do wonder why her name sounds so familiar to me when she was only in Wave for 10 years, because I'm really not familiar with Wave whatsoever.
Maybe she was
Either
so
I'm
good,
also like confusing her with another Ohata that I'm familiar with, like Dave says. Or like Valkyrie told me about her at one point or something like that. That's possible.
Oh, because Velko, Velko was like, I'm so glad you're finding out about Ohata now. So he probably did. He's probably one of her favorites, and he's spoken about her.
Maybe I'm just also read this entire conversation, so that's why I've heard her name.
Hey, I've heard that person. I saw her last week on Discord. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
my brain, maybe it's just stupid like that.
Yeah.
All right, we did it.
We did it.
A bonus man means a bonus hour.
True, actually. Yeah. Thank you for coming,
So-
Dave. You're awesome.
Yeah, thank you. It's great being here.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And hopefully we'll have you back for maybe some other Stardom pay-per-views. Maybe for the Dream... Oh, no, we'll be in Japan. Fuck. Maybe for the Osaka show in February.
the
Eddie and Arena.
probably large arena show. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that we only clocked on to on this episode. Wait, like, hey, that's a big show.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, thank
Wherever you want to come back on, it's always
Yeah, and
welcome.
I promise I
Amazing
will
having
not
you on.
make the show 4 hours long every time. And
you were awesome, don't worry.
well, and if your hate mail goes up because you've had someone defending Sire CM Punk, what else did I say? Oh no, I insulted TJPW. That's never normally a good idea. So if you get a lot of hate mail, you can direct it all towards me. That's fine. And I did want to say, unfortunately, Tim, I did forget to mention you, but when I submitted my Hall of Fame ballot, I did recommend that Eric, Trish, and Peter Edge all be given ballots to balance out the fact that I somehow have one.
Okay. Yeah, Trish, Peter, Tim,
No, you're listen to your recap. You're like the modern historian of Joshi wrestling. You're keeping these people alive.
Yeah, the modern one. Yeah.
it wouldn't be a good idea. I'm not a good historian, and I would be too lazy to look everyone up. And I have like these extreme opinions on stuff, so that's probably not great for
Peter Edge,
a balanced Hall of Fame view.
Yeah, Peter
So,
Edge should definitely get one.
I put him first.
Yeah,
I was like,
absolutely.
yeah, I should have linked to his
Okay,
articles, but I was hoping that hopefully Dave reads it.
Cool. All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Awesome.
See you next week.
See ya next week. Bye.